office manager Jennifer Francis is suing her ex-boyfriend, mechanic John Faulkner, for his share of a cruise to Jamaica. John says the vacation was supposed to be her treat.
Mr. Faulkner, you and the defendant were dating, and according to her, you went on a cruise together. You were supposed to pay her back for your half of the cruise. You came back from the cruise. You gave her back some money. Your half was $1,000. You gave her back $250, and then stopped making the payments and stopped dating. Mr. Faulkner, you tell me that this cruise was a gift?
Yes.
So you tell me about it. When were we supposed to take the cruise? Where did you go? Tell me about the gift.
I took the cruise it was September 21st to the 30th. And what we were supposed to do was we ended up going to Jamaica. And what we did was on the cruise was that I would pay for the hotel rooms, for the 2 nights of the hotel rooms. And
what do you mean, before and after?
Before and after.
Okay, and that was $250?
Yes.
Show me the bill for that.
I paid her in cash. It was all put on her credit card.
You mean the hotel was put on her credit card?
Everything was put on her credit card.
Okay. How much were the hotel rooms, the 2 nights in the hotel room? Do you have that on your bill?
Yeah, I do, Your Honor.
I'd just like you to tell me what
the hotel costs were approximately $101.
Can I see that, please?
That's okay.
No, it was $101 for each night.
Yes.
It's $202, and you gave her, sir, $250. Tell me about that.
I knew it was $101 a night, but I didn't know about the taxes and then her credit card interest on her credit card. And I wanted to be fair and pay her for the credit card interest also. Yeah.
What was the cost of the entire cruise?
About $2,000.
Don't give me about.
$2,000.
Show me.
Okay. It's on that statement I gave you, Your Honor.
1148.10.
Yes.
Royal Caribbean Cruise.
Yes, those charges are all stated on my credit card, which I paid for in advance.
Just a second. 1148 was the cruise for 2 people?
Yes.
Then you had airfare.
Yes.
Okay. $1,860. Now, Mr. Faulkner, why would Miss Francis take you on a cruise and say to you it's a gift?
Because I was ill. I got sick at work, lung problems, and we started dating, and she offered to take me on this cruise because it would clear my lungs. My doctor said that it would be good for my lungs to go on a cruise. She offered to pay for this cruise because I couldn't afford it.
Tell me about it, sir. How long had you been dating her when she was concerned about your lungs?
2 months.
You had your own home?
No.
Where did you live?
I have, at my parents' house, I have like a mother-in-law suite that I stay in.
How old are you?
I'm 42.
Do you have a car?
Yes, I have cars.
Cars? What kind of cars do you have?
I have a Ford Ranger, and I just sold my RX-7 that I had.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a mechanic for natural gas.
You work for a company?
Yes, I do.
How long have you worked for the same company?
2 years.
Before that?
I was a roofer for 24 years.
What happened to your lungs? Did they get better after the cruise?
They're getting better. I'm still under medical care for them.
What's wrong with your lungs?
I was exposed to pesticides.
Are you back working now?
Yes, I am.
Did you collect any kind of disability?
Yes, I did.
How much were you collecting in disability payments?
How much was I collecting?
That was my question.
$400 every 2 weeks.
And you were living at your mother's house?
Yes.
So yeah, limited expenses. And do you have a lawsuit pending now?
Yes.
With regard to these pesticides that you ingested?
Yes.
And how much are you suing the company for?
That's up to my attorney. I don't know.
You never discussed that with them?
No.
A lot, right?
Probably.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Now, so you felt better after you came back from the cruise,
Yes.
is that right?
Yes.
And when did you go back to work?
On October 1st, day after.
Really? Mm-hmm. So was you like your last hurrah, Mr. Faulkner, before you went back to work, right?
Yeah, I was only off for 2 weeks before.
So you work continuously?
Off and on, I was working, yeah. I was trying to
Really?
go-
So why didn't you have any money to go on this cruise?
Because I couldn't afford this cruise, Your Honor. I have a daughter. I'm a single parent.
She lives with you?
Yes.
Really? In this little suite that you live at in your mother's house?
She has her own room inside my mother's house.
So who takes care of her when you work?
My mother?
You pay your mother for taking care of her?
No, I don't.
Sounds to me, Mr. Faulkner, like you can afford your own vacations, sir. Now I'm ready to hear from you, Miss Francis. You want to tell me how it came about that Mr. Faulkner joined you on this trip?
Yes, I would, Your Honor. I met John on August 3rd, and in September, I wanted to take a vacation. I just recently separated after 22 years of marriage, and John and I had met, and we really liked each other a lot, and I said, well, why don't we go on the cruise, because I was going to go alone. And I said, will you pay for your half? And he assured me. What he said earlier is a lie. There was no gift involved.
Tell me about the $250 he gave you.
Well, he gave me $250 cash when we got back. I had loaned him $50 as soon as we got back, and I'm not even showing that here. But he just gave me $250 and said
What did
the
he
rest
say?
is coming.
He gave you $250?
Yeah.
And said the rest is coming?
Yeah.
Tell me about the cruise. Did you ever leave the ship?
Yeah, we did. We went to Cozumel, Mexico, and we had a great time on the ship.
Okay. All right. Half of the trip less the $250 that he gave you comes to $680. Mr. Faulkner, you're not that inspirational, sir. Pay for your own vacations. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $680. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Nurse Latricia Atkins is suing her sister-in-law, store owner Alice Williams, for unpaid wages and reimbursement for merchandise. Alice says Latricia was supposed to be a volunteer.
Ms. Atkins, the defendant is your sister-in-law. She had been married to your brother who passed away recently. Is that right?
Yes.
When did your brother pass away?
June 2nd of 2000.
How did he die?
Actually, he had a drowning. We don't actually know what really happened.
It is your claim that you went into a partnership with your sister-in-law in a small business. You had been doing some selling at fair,
Like swap meets, different people.
and you'd been selling children's clothing?
No, mostly adult clothes.
In any event, your sister-in-law said she was interested in going into a business, and according to you, she put up the money and you put up the skill.
Yes.
And the know-how. And you worked, and you kept waiting for profits. There were no profits, she said, because she took care of the books. And you are suing her now for what you believe is your fair share of the work that was done.
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Williams says that there was never a partnership. You helped her out. You volunteered out of the goodness of your heart. That there was never an arrangement to share the profits. This was her business and her business only. She put up the money. You put up nothing. And she owes you nothing. That's your position.
Absolutely. With the exclusion of she was a phenomenal help for me. Basically, when I asked her...
I didn't ask you anything yet. Did you say basically?
Absolutely,
that's correct?
yes.
Correct. Okay. Tell me about how this business started with your sister-in-law.
Well, I was in school, and I didn't have any income, so I decided to start taking the little money that I did have and start selling clothes. And she approached me at a barbecue at my sister's house in Lancaster and said that, oh, looks like you're doing pretty good. I would like to be basically a silent partner. You can go find the place and everything, and which I did. I found the place. And,
Just a second.
Okay.
How long had you been doing your selling before she approached you?
Probably a couple months. I was doing my own thing.
How much money did you make in the 2 months that you were in business before going into an association with your sister-in-law?
Oh, I was making like maybe close to $200-300 a week.
$200 or $300
Yes.
a week?
Yes.
Okay. Then she approaches you, and you went and got a different booth?
Yes, she said, you know, I got a little money on the side that I can really, you know, help out, but you can go find a place, and I'll basically be a silent partner.
So did you go find a larger place?
Yes, I went and found a larger place.
When?
It was September 13th.
Of what year?
Of 2002.
And how many days a week did you work there?
Just 3 days a week.
How many weeks did you work there?
September 13 to November 20th.
Is that about right?
Yes.
You handled the money, is that right?
Yes, I did.
How much money did you, when you were handling the money, turn over to Miss Atkins during that time?
None, because there was...
Just you turned over none. And it is your testimony, Miss Williams, very succinctly, that Miss Atkins gave up her business that she was in for 2 months prior to your approaching her in order to go into your business 3 days a week for approximately 12 weeks as a volunteer. Is that what you want me to believe? I just asking you, is that what you want me to believe?
Yes.
I don't. I don't.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Ms. Williams, makes no sense for someone who has a business making some extra money. I don't know if it was $200 to $300. I'm not so sure about that. Even if it was $50 a day, it is incredible that she would give up her business to go in and work 3 days a week in your business and not expect to be compensated. It's ridiculous. And it's not true. She had her own business. You mean to tell me she gave it up? She wasn't in love with you. She gave up her business to come and volunteer with yours for nothing? It just didn't happen, Miss Williams. You took advantage of her. So you got to pay for that. Do you look like you're losing?
No.
Now, it's going to be absolutely impossible for me to go back and to say to you, well, what merchandise did you have? What did you sell it for? Because that would have been a partnership. You put up the money. She goes in there and devotes her time. But certainly $50 a day is an appropriate amount of money to pay somebody who works 8 hours a day. And that you're going to pay her. So far, she owes you $1,320. Anything else?
No, thank you very
Good.
much.
Thank you very much. That's all.
Pardon your excuse, you may step out.
Homemaker Twyla Bryce is suing her ex-roommate, mortgage processor Luann Cooper, for the return of property, unpaid rent, and assault, and for filing false charges with police.
Ms. Bryce, tell me very, very quickly. You think that the defendant owes you some money. You were her roommate. You claim she had you evicted, kept some of your property. You want her to reimburse you for a whole bunch of things, a TV that she kept, some pain and suffering because she had you falsely arrested, and a whole bunch of other stuff. She says she has none of your stuff. Right?
No, that's not correct. She did not get arrested.
Just
I don't have any of her stuff.
You say you have none of her stuff.
None of her stuff.
Perfect.
She came with all her stuff.
Shh. So, I have other things to do.
Hi, how you doing? First of all, it's an honor to meet you. You have to bear with me.
Just tell me.
I just got over a cold. So
Tell me what she owes you money for.
back rent. When I first moved in with Cooper, we was going half and half. We were supposed to become roommates, $5.10 apiece. When I moved in with her, she did not tell me till the last minute that she had got fired from her job, and she didn't have a $300 towards the rent.
So she owes you $200 towards rent.
$210.
Your Honor,
Just a second. Let me deal with this. And what month was that in?
This was in July when I moved in with her.
Okay. Did you ever take $200 from her for rent?
Yes, I did, Your Honor, and I paid her back.
Okay,
As soon as I got a job, like a week later, I got a job and I paid her back. Cause see, she didn't have the money. She borrowed it from her sister.
Okay,
And I
so
had to
you
pay her
gave her
sister back.
back-
I didn't even pay her. I paid her sister back.
You paid her sister. You
Yeah,
gave
because it was
sister
her money.
Perfect. You have your sister here? Did she give you back the money?
She gave me back $200
Good.
after
Perfect.
July.
Perfect. Good. She gave you back $200. What's next, Miss Bryce?
Okay. In August, Luann Cooper was fired again from another job. I had to put the whole rent, which was
That's a lie. That's a lie, Your Honor.
$1,085.
That's a lie. I did not get fired from my job, and she left in August.
Just a second.
October, excuse me.
Could we get to what
mean,
we're talking? Could you be quiet, please? Because I'm not spending more than another 5 minutes on this case.
Excuse
Thank you,
me.
Your Honor.
Listen! Your complaint talks about you getting evicted from the house, a false restraining order. You and your daughter were forced to leave the house, and that she kept your television, she kept a telephone, and a blanket belonging to your daughter.
And a pillow.
Doesn't say anything about a pillow here.
That's a lie, Your Honor. She came and got all her stuff. Her sister even took
If you
her.
say one more thing
Got her
to
to
me
my house.
without my looking at you, then I'm going to grant her petition. Do you understand? Say nothing until I look at your direction and ask you a question. We understand each other? Good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Now, tell me about the 4th of September when she had you evicted.
Okay, we had gave a party. But me and her birthday, my birthday was on the 1st, hers was on the 2nd of September. Miss Cooper had been up previously almost a week.
That's a lie. That's a lie. We started partying on your birthday, so it was what, the 2nd? When
Miss Cooper, you didn't pay attention. Do you understand? If the court makes a statement, and if then I go back on it, everybody thinks the court system doesn't mean what it says. Now, did I tell you fairly, give you fair notice, that if you interrupt again, I'm going to grant her claim whether it is legitimate or not. Did I say that to you?
Yeah, you did.
And did you say I understood it?
Yeah.
And did you do it again? Did you do it
Your
again?
Honor, is just that she's lying, and I just can't let
Judgment
her
for
lie.
the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500. That's all.
Hallelujah! Thank you, Jesus.
Warren Jacobson is suing his sister, flight attendant Kelly Cole, for an unpaid loan to pay her bills. Kelly says she assumed the money was a gift.
Mr. Jacobson, you claim a loan to the defendant who's your sister, in the amount of $3,000. Your sister acknowledges that you gave her $3,000, but your sister says it wasn't a loan, it was a gift. When did you make this loan?
In April.
Tell me about it.
My partner had passed away in March, and I hadn't really seen my sister since 2000. And when he passed away, she showed up at the wake. Then after that, there has been a couple of times that I had talked to her sporadically on the phone, and she had told me that, you know, her roommate had gave her some bad checks and that she was in need of some cash. So I asked her how much would be the minimum that she would need to pay her car payments, the child care for her daughter, and her utility bills, and she said $3,000. So I told her that I could probably swing that.
And when you handed her the money, what kind of conversation did you have?
Well, I told her that I could loan her the money and I needed it to be repaid, but I told her I would loan it to her at a 0% interest, you know, because she was in need.
Why didn't you speak to your sister for the 2-year period between 2000 and 2000?
My sister and my brother were in business together, and he had gotten hurt. So then when he was in the hospital, my sister sort of just swung in, and she wanted to take over the business. And in that time, they were behind on all their bills. So then my mom got involved into it. Then she started running the business with my brother, and then my sister was out of it. So there was a big family dispute over the whole entire mess.
Did you ask your sister back for this money?
Yes.
When?
Every month.
What did she say?
She would show me a stack of bills and she says, I don't have any to give to you. And in August, she just blew up and was like yelling and using foul language. And then she told me that I should have told you months ago that I was not ever going to pay you.
All right, Ms. Cole, let's hear your version of these events.
Where would you like me to start?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Now, I would like you to start on the 29th of April when your brother handed you $3,000.
April.
Yes.
Okay, let's start in April. Okay, he gave me the $3,000. I had driven out there. I had not spoken to either one of them for over a year, not because my brother was hurt. My other brother, who I was in business with, who my mother talked me into going into business with this brother.
How old are you?
Old enough to know better.
So don't blame anybody else for your mistakes. I want to hear about the $3,000.
Okay, the $3,000.
So your brother gave you $3,000 because you said you were behind on your bills. Why didn't you pay him back?
Because I assumed that it was a gift, because I didn't find out until 2 weeks later from my Aunt Carol, who had gone to a picnic with them. She came back to me, she goes, Kelly, do you know that gift that your brother gave you was a loan?
Listen to me, I'm not interested in what somebody said to you outside of this courtroom.
Yes.
I want to know why, in your mind, you think that this brother, who you weren't in business with, would give you $3,000.
Because he and my mother went into the company after my brother was stabbed and took the company, went into bank accounts, took money, back charged my account, which put me $27,000 in debt, and turned around and deposited into their new DBA account. They took over the business. Both of them.
Miss Cole, I think that you have a persecution complex. So far, you have two brothers and a mother. You're not talking to your mother, this brother, or your other brother, because everybody is trying to scam you. Is
Not
that right?
everybody's trying. They've always done it.
Is there any particular reason for that?
Because I was very close to my grandmother.
Oh, you are a very sick girl. You owe your brother $3,000. Pay it. Judgment for the plaintiff, that's all.
All these are excused. You may step out.
And his jet ski.
Mr. Searle, do you have any witnesses here with you today?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
I ask you that question for a very good reason. According to what I've read, sir, you purchased a jet ski for your stepdaughter?
That's correct.
And it was delivered to a house that you have on the lake. And at the time, your stepdaughter was there, your wife was there, the defendant was there, a couple of other people. And then you left, that's what you told me in here, in order to go to take the person who had delivered the jet ski back to their lair, wherever they were going. And when you came back to the lake, you heard that the defendant had been on the jet ski, had an accident, and the jet ski was damaged. Is that right?
That is correct, Your Honor.
But you have no witnesses, sir, to testify as to what happened.
That's correct, Your Honor.
How do you plan to prove your case of negligence?
I do have an accident report from the investigating agency.
That doesn't help me. You have to come into court being prepared to prove your case. The defendant's position is she had an accident with this jet ski. She had your stepdaughter's permission to drive it, correct? Mm-hmm. Nobody's alleging that she stole it. Your wife was there. You weren't there, but your wife was certainly there and did nothing to prevent her from taking the jet ski. She had an accident, and the accident was with another vehicle. Is that right?
Yes.
What other kind of vehicle?
It was a boat.
And who owned the boat?
Jeff.
So she had an accident with a jet ski with a boat that you also owned. Who said it wasn't the boat's fault?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
So, how could you sue her for any damages?
I know that I am aware that she did not have permission to drive the jet ski.
Impossible. She didn't steal it. And you weren't there. And I guarantee you, if your stepdaughter was there and her mother was there... By the way, who was the first person to drive the jet ski?
Kelly.
Kelly?
Yes.
The person who was given the jet ski as a gift?
Right.
And did you drive it second?
Yes.
When Kelly drove the jet ski, she went around the lake a couple of times?
Yes.
And then did she come back to the dock?
I'm not sure.
Well, something happened.
From what I was told,
I don't want you to tell me what you were told. She got on the jet ski. There's no question in my mind that she did not steal the jet ski. That what happened there was a whole bunch of people around. Your stepdaughter drove the jet ski. Then she said, "Can I drive it next?" And you're claiming that you didn't have real permission because your stepdaughter is underage. Is that right?
Well, partially. Also, my wife did indicate to her to return to the dock that she was not allowed to make that change in the water, at which point they ignored that and drove off.
You can't tell me that, sir. Your wife's not here.
That is correct, Your Honor.
So you have no case. Goodbye.
All these are excused. You may step out.
Kruger is suing her former roommate, 19-year-old bartender Michael Estes, for unpaid rent. Michael says he stopped paying because he didn't like her taste in decorating.
Miss Kruger, your family owns a house. And you are in charge of renting the rooms in that house. It's a college community?
Right.
You rented a room to the defendant, and it is your claim that he owes you for 2 months' rent, $600. Now, I've read Mr. Estes's answer, and he acknowledges that he didn't pay the rent, right?
Right.
He says he didn't like your decorating. And he told you that if you continued to paint the house in colors he didn't like, he wasn't going to pay the rent. Isn't that what you told me in here? I just wanted to make sure that that's what you said.
Yeah. She didn't let me have a say in anything in the house at all.
Since when are men in charge of decorating? Since when are men in charge of decorating? You can decorate your closet, that's it. And that's if it's your house. If it's not your house, you can't even decorate your closet. Mr. Estes, how old are you, sir?
19.
You go to college?
No, I took a semester off.
Are you planning on going back to school?
Yes.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
A police officer.
That's a legitimate career. curious because I thought perhaps you wanted to go into interior design.
No.
Clearly not. Now, I want you, Mr. Estes, to convince me why I should, or she should, forgive the $600 rent that you owe her because you didn't like the colors that she painted the house, okay? It's all yours, sir.
I moved in August, and then she moved in around the end of August, I think. And then both the guys moved out, and then we were getting along, and then she kept decorating the house, and I said, you know, I want to have a say in this house too, and she wouldn't let me have a say ever in the house.
Like what? Give me an example.
Like she would paint this side of the wall red and like this side of the wall red, and then both these sides would be white. She'd paint like the kitchen like a yellow and blue color. She'd paint the hallways and paint like all over the house all kinds of different colors, and I didn't like it.
What color do you like?
It was white. Just white was fine to me.
You like plain white. You don't like color. You like it plain, nice, plain, clean white.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Bird and I are fascinated.
And that's about it. I just told her, you know, I'm not going to pay rent if I never have to stay in the house, and she was just like, whatever, you know.
You're talking about a say in that. You're talking about the color. I mean, I want to know if there's anything else other than the color. She painted 2 walls.
Just the way that she decorated the house, it was like all like girl house, and I couldn't put anything up at all.
Explain that to me. Other than the color, what else did she decorate?
Just she'd put like candles up and all these weird lamps and pictures. It was
Pictures or pictures?
Pictures.
Pictures that you pour from, or pictures on the wall?
Pictures on the wall. Pictures.
What kind of pictures did she put up?
I don't know. They're just like artist kind of pictures. I don't know what it really was.
Please. Mr. Rest, this is very serious. Who are you?
I'm his girlfriend.
Please don't move. I didn't ask you to stand up. I just wanted to know whether you were just fixing your hair or raising your hand.
I just have something to say.
Either way, stop it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Mr. Estes, your defense is the most ridiculous defense that I've heard in a very long time. Most ridiculous. If you want white walls, you take an apartment where you live all by yourself with your girlfriend, and you have white walls. This is not your house. You are merely a boarder in one room. It was her house. You have a room. You are entitled to decorate your room. If you and this girlfriend of yours get together and get married, I guarantee you're going to have more than white walls. And you know what you're going to say when she comes home and she's painted the hallway yellow? You know what you're going to say? Yes, dear. That's what you're going to say, because you're going to be out there protecting the peace and security of your neighborhood in your chosen profession. And since white walls are the walls that appeal to you and no pictures on the walls appeal to you, I can't say that you had a different decorating taste than she did, because you had no taste. So you pay her the $600. Mr. Estes, you're supposed to do the right thing. You want to be a police officer? Police officers have good character. They have a good moral compass. They know right from wrong. You lived in the house. You lived in the house for 2 months. The rent was $300 a month. You didn't pay the rent, and then you came up with a lot of baloney excuses. That's not what a moral person does. And you've chosen a profession that requires that kind of moral compass. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Retired computer specialist Loretta Cochran is suing her former friend, computer technician Chris Matthews, for an unpaid loan for child support. Chris says he worked off the debt.
Ms. Cochran, you claim a loan to the defendant in the amount of $5,000. You claim that you have given him certain credits. He owes you slightly less than $5,000 on the loan. Mr. Matthews says that you had an agreement, and the agreement was that it was a barter arrangement, that you gave him $5,000 and he agreed to do some work for you and half of the civilized world in exchange for the money that he needed to pay back child support. Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you know him?
I know him from the local flea market at home. He ran a computer shop.
And you?
I ran a booth there selling Beanie Babies, etc.
Tell me about this loan, Ms. Cochran.
Well, Chris needed to pay us back child support.
How did you find that out?
Well, he was talking about it at his shop where other people were. He was working on my personal computer, and he was talking about how he needed to raise the money to get to pay his child support. And I agreed to loan him the money to keep him out of jail.
When you say you agreed to loan him the money, either he asked you for the money or you volunteered.
No, he asked for the money.
What did he say? That's what I want to know.
Oh, gee. He wanted some help on paying the back child support.
What prompted you to give him such a large sum of money?
Well, he really promised to pay it back within.
Tell me what he said, Ms.
He said
Cochran, you're
that he
missing.
was getting a $4,000 income tax refund and that he would be able to pay me back within 90 days. So I thought for a short time, yes, I can do this.
He was probably concerned that he was going to go to jail unless he paid.
Yes.
Did he say that to you?
Oh, yes.
Well, I want you to tell me what he said, Ms.
Well,
Cochran.
he said he was going to have to go to jail if he didn't raise the money by February the 6th. He had to go to court. And so we went to the bank on January the 27th, I think, and got the money and gave him a cashier's check so he could pay the bill.
So he said that he would pay you back when he got his income tax refund, which would have been $4,000, and then make up the rest.
Yes.
Did he pay you anything?
He paid me nothing.
When did you first ask him for the money?
After he went to court and, you know, had some time had passed by, and I said, let's talk about this. And he would tell me to come over to the flea market, come over to the shop. He would have some money. I'd go over. He wouldn't have any money. Weeks and months went by. He moved his business and went into business with some other guys. And he paid everybody else, but he won't pay me.
All right, Mr. Matthews, now I'll hear you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. I don't dispute the fact that I borrowed the money from her. We had made an agreement that I would pay the money back, and then business had dropped, and I came back to her and I said, I don't have the money. I don't know when I'll have it. I'll pay you. She made the agreement that I could work it off on working on her computers, friends' computers.
Tell me about that,
And
Mr.
I guess
Matthews.
they would reimburse her that way.
Tell me about that, sir. Tell me about this new agreement. When was it? Where were you when you made
It was
this
about
new...
March, and it was at her home.
What were you doing at her home?
Working on her computer.
Okay. Go ahead.
And she had said, hey, you know, you could do this kind of work. We can knock it off the bill, you know, until you can get straight and whatnot.
Yeah, for a couple of hundred.
Go ahead.
And I kept doing this work and...
Doing what work?
On the computers.
Well, how many computers
I
did you
worked
work
on her computer twice at the shop, twice at her home. I worked on her lawn keeper's computer. I just worked on another friend of hers computer. I repeatedly worked on everything.
No, not repeatedly. You worked on her computer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And she's giving you certain credit for working on her computer because she says in her complaint, I even credited him $164 because he did some work on my computer.
Your Honor, I worked on her computer at least 4 times.
So what? She kept you out of jail. How much do you think you'd be charged in interest on a $5,000 loan?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know. You're not
ma'am.
very good in math, just on computers?
Just, I don't know what the interest rate you're speaking of. You're
Any
speaking
interest
9%,
rate, sir.
15%, 20%?
Let's try 10%.
Okay. 10% would be right at $500.
So forget about her computer that you worked on. How many friends' computers did you work on under this arrangement that you claim you had with her?
2.
And who were those people?
One was her lawn keeper and one was a personal friend of hers.
And you accepted no money from these people?
From one of them I did.
2 of them.
How much? Just a second. Which one did you accept money from?
The last one that I worked on it 8 hours and I only charged her for 4 hours of labor.
So what? So forget about that one. You're hustling me, sir. Now, was that the lawn keeper or was that a friend?
That was the friend.
When did you work on the lawn keeper's computer?
Sometime in March.
And how many hours did you spend on that?
On the lawn keeper, 6 hours.
And tell me about the conversation that you had with the plaintiff with regard to her benefiting from your working on her lawn keeper's computer.
She said that she would then take it out and trade with her lawn keeper as far as taking care of her lawn.
Does that sound familiar to you?
No, I paid for the computer. I paid cash.
What do you mean you paid cash for the computer?
When he fixed this computer for a friend of mine.
They were talking about the lawn keeper.
Ma'am.
Well, the lawn keeper is a friend.
What difference does it make? It's not $5,000 we're talking about here, Mr. Matthews. You have an obligation. Your obligation is to pay child support. How many children do you have that's covered by this child support order?
1.
And what's your child support order?
It's $560 a month.
So in order for you to have amassed $5,000 worth of arrears, you didn't pay for a long time.
Yes, ma'am.
So you shun that responsibility. This lady, a total stranger to you, says, I will loan you the money because you asked her for it. That's what you just told me. You just told me that you borrowed the money from her. Borrowed. She's not your wife, is she?
No, ma'am.
She's not your sister?
No, ma'am.
She's not your cousin?
No, ma'am.
She's not your aunt?
No, ma'am.
She's not your best friend?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So she's a stranger to you. Stranger. She took care of your responsibility for your child to pay child support. Then you tell her, I don't have any money. Sorry, I thought I'd have money. I don't have money. That's what you told the mother of your child, too. I'm sorry, what do you want me to shoot me? I don't have money. Collect cans.
Your Honor, everything
Now listen
is-
to me. Collect cans. Go out, collect cans, 5 cents a piece, collect bottles, put them in, then you have money. Listen to me, sir. She's not supposed to pay your child support. You're supposed to pay your child support.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So she took the money out of the bank, which cost her interest. According to my calculations, you owe her at least $5,000 because that's how much she lost in interest. You want to say anything else to me, Mr. Matthews? And are you sure you want to say something else to me?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to hear you, sir.
We made this agreement on several occasions that I would do this work for her.
But you didn't.
I've calculated work that I have done for her on 4 different occasions, and I only got $160 worth of credit off of the bill.
So what? She kept you out of jail. How long were you going to go to jail for, Mr. Matthews?
12 months.
You figure that maybe your life is worth $100 a month? Not to some people, maybe, but to you. Is it worth $100 a month?
Yes, ma'am.
$1,200? She kept you out of jail for 12 months. $1,200. Did you do more than $1,200 worth of work on her computer?
Between friends and...
Her computer!
No, ma'am.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Bar manager Linda Van Natta is suing her former friend, cashier Marion Gervitz, for vet bills. Marion is countersuing, also for vet bills.
Miss Van Natta, I'm going to very succinctly give you a short scenario of the complaint that I read, yours. According to you, you sold the defendant 2 Persian cats. Then you got information somehow that they were being neglected. At the time, according to you, the defendant had approximately 17 cats. You went over there, you picked up the 2 cats, you took them back to your house. You did that with her permission.
Yes.
And then she wanted them back, and you said you can't have them back. Ultimately, you were forced to give the cats back to her. And you want her to pay the vet bills that you incurred taking care of the cats.
Yes.
So that's what your lawsuit is about.
Yes.
You have a cross complaint.
Yes, ma'am.
You say that when the cats were returned to you, they were returned sick, and you had to take them to the vet.
Yes, ma'am.
What was wrong with them when they were returned to you?
My cats were returned to me. They had ringworm, which is like a fungus.
I know what ringworm is.
Okay. And none of my cats have ever had ringworm. We have 14
How many cats do you have?
We have 14.
Are you telling me you had 14 cats and none of your cats have ever had ringworm?
No, ma'am.
You have the 2 Persians back now?
I have the 2 Persians back, and they were underweight when I got them back.
Oh, I'd like to see the vet report.
Yes, ma'am.
Indicating.
I also have a letter where Linda sent to my husband accusing me of having extramarital affairs. And I just don't think it has anything to do with the case. She's slandering me.
I just would like to see, please, the vet bills and the report from the vet when you got the cats back.
Okay, this is a report that the vet faxed to the Humane Society.
When were the cats returned to her?
November.
November what?
Around the 15th, I believe.
November 15?
I believe so.
Well, according to the veterinarian, both cats had good body weight. Both cats had ringworm lesion. One cat had an ear infection, one cat had a right eye infection. And this indicates that both cats had several problems that required medical attention. Can you tell me how this is possible?
These cats were very sick when I took them back. I've been treating them from the vet from August until the end of October, that I've taken the cats to the vets 6 times.
Did you tell her when you went to pick up the cats that it was your intention to keep them?
No, I told her I would keep the cats until she would get her act together. The house was filthy. She had cat feces all over the house.
Linda, your house has not been any better.
She had to shovel cat feces from the downstairs.
You had rest in your bathtub,
The place was
honey.
supposed to be getting condemned.
Listen to me. Where do you think you are?
I'm sorry.
Where do you think you are?
I'm
Then
sorry.
don't say but.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Go ahead.
And with the 17 cats in the house, I knew that they were sick when I took them, and I did ask her about the condition of the cats, especially when I seen the bloody stool. She said that was not a problem, that she would cover the vet bills. So, and
Did you say that to her?
I told her if she took the cat to the vet, that I would pay the bill, but she refused to return the cats to me.
You did tell her you would cover the vet bill.
I would cover the vet bill, but she refused to allow me to have my cats back or see them. She was going to euthanize them because of Giardia.
Because of what?
Because of Giardia. She was going to have the cats euthanized.
That is a parasite that the cats have. They eat out the inner lining of the intestine. I was never going to have them euthanized.
That's what you told me, Linda.
That's why I was having them treated, so that they would cure the Giardia. The vet
they had Giardia.
I have got a letter.
Why do you need 14 or 16 cats?
I do animal rescue.
Yeah.
And I have 7 papered cats, and I have 7 mutts, because I feel that anyone who sells cats should have as many mutt cats that need homes as they do purebred cats.
They were sick before they went.
No, ma'am, they were not sick.
Sure they were.
No, they were not sick, ma'am.
Sure they were. You want to know why I know they were sick? Because you said if you take them to the vet because they had blood in their stool, I will pay the bill. If you
Casper had diarrhea because of all the stress.
Give me a break.
And
Give me a break. Look, you spent a lot of money, Miss Van Atta, and I believe you spent a lot of money at the vet after a period of time that she told you, I want my cats back. That's your responsibility. The only question that I have in my mind is whether or not you are responsible for any of the vet bills that she had after she got her cats back. Because she says the cats came back to her sick. Now, the cats were not in your possession because you gave them to a third person. Is that correct?
Correct.
Well, why did you do...
Excuse me. She sold them.
I'm not speaking to you. Who did you give them to?
I gave them to a lady. I ran an ad to get rid of some of my cats.
How long were the cats with her?
3 to 4 weeks before she actually got them back.
All right, well, unfortunately, you are responsible for her vet bills.
That I am responsible?
Yeah, you are. You are. I know you're trying to do a good deed. $405. Judgment on the counterclaim for the defendant. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Driver Johnny Eldridge is suing his brother, Tommy Eldridge, for an electric bill. Tommy is countersuing for non-payment of services rendered.
Mr. Eldridge, the defendant is your brother, and according to your complaint, you made a loan to him for an electric bill, a couple of $100s. He refuses to pay you back. Your brother says it was really a helping hand. There was never a loan, and he is counterclaiming because he said he did a whole lot of work for you around the house for which he was never compensated. Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you pay this electric bill for him?
September 14th.
Why?
I feel sorry for him.
Tell me how it came about that you even knew he had this electric bill problem.
Well, at my father's house day before, on the 13th.
You were at your father's house?
Yes.
The two of you?
Yes. And that afternoon, I get home, and he's called, wanted to borrow money to pay his electric bill. And I said, I don't know.
Well, what did he say to you?
He said his girlfriend has left him, so he has no money.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You erected a fence on each side of the backyard.
With his help.
Then you did brakes for a truck.
I'll sit down to do that.
You're a hustler, Mr. Eldridge.
Brother and his mistress.
Go ahead.
So that next day, I called him up and said, Tom, I'll pay your electric bill for you. So when can I have the money back? He says, I'll give it back to you when my mother-in-law gets back from the coast.
When his mother-in-law gets back?
No, his girlfriend's mother, because she owed him some money.
All right. When his girlfriend's mother straightens up, he'll get straightened up and he'll give you back your money.
Right. And then I gave him the money, gave him a check.
How much did you give him?
$257.33.
Okay.
And then he says, I'll pay you back within a week. A week went by, I called him up, how's everything going, Tom? Didn't have nothing to say to me. So I showed up at his house a month later and said, Tom, what's the problem? Can you not pay me? He goes, no, I don't have no money. I don't have no money to pay you. So I said, well, can you not call me and tell me that you got problems? I called him all the time.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. True, he gave me the money. He called me and asked me if I wanted the money.
And I don't borrow money. I'm 44 years old. I don't borrow money from nobody. Parents, him, sister, brother, it don't matter.
So just a second. So he called you.
He knew. Yes, ma'am.
So he called you and said, I want to give you this money? Is that
Yes,
what you're
ma'am.
telling me?
Because yes, ma'am. I've had 19 surgeries since May 1st of 2002, and I'm disabled, can't work. He called me. My fiance works her tail off to make ends meet. We have 3 kids. He calls and asks me if I need to borrow money for my electric bill. He calls me.
Oh, just a second. How did he know that you needed money for your electric
Because
bill?
I'm not working. And knowing that she's just a waitress, and I've got 3 boys.
I do
Mr.
that
Eldridge.
all the time.
What?
I do that all the time. I call everybody, see if they need money. I got so much money, see.
He's being facetious. I was...
What do you think?
Now, listen, Mr. Eldridge, what you said to me doesn't make sense, sir. It doesn't make sense that somebody calls you up and said, by the way, do you need money to pay your electric bill? If you said to me, my brother called me and said, listen, I know you're having hard times now. Is there anything that I can do to help? And you said, well, you could help me out with my electric bill. That sounds normal. But when you say to me, he called you up and said, listen, I want to help you out by paying your electric bill, that doesn't make sense, Mr. Eldridge.
No, he told me I have some work to do for you. I have a whole list of stuff at work I've done for him that we agree on a price. We would not be here in this courtroom today on October 8th. He calls me and asks me if I would go to Holiday Inn in Weatherford and get a motel room for him and a girl. He's got a beautiful wife that he's been married for 10 years to. And I told him I would not do that. The next morning, he come beating on my door and jumped my tail and said, I'll see you in court. Then I get this certified letter. It says, I'm responding to your countersuit. F you. I'll see you in court.
Mr. Eldridge, could we get down to the $257.33 for the electric bill, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Now, I listened to what you had to say, and I read your answer. And your answer says, he paid the electric bill in September. I figured we were even because of all the work that you had done for him.
Right.
And then you turn around and counterclaim for $1,020.
Yes, ma'am, I did that because...
Well, $257 here and $1,020 here. How do you write here, I figured we were even, and then turn around and sue him for 4 times as much money?
Because he don't consider all the work I did for his wife, him, on his son's car that he won't take to the shop and have fixed. He calls me to come and have it fixed.
So what?
Well, because I'm not working, and that's what he does.
Mr. Eldridge, did you have an agreement with regard to the projects that you did to the house that you were working for him?
Yes, ma'am. We had a certain price.
Oh, let me see the agreement.
Yes, ma'am. I had a certain price, and he never, ever paid me what we agreed on.
Just a second. I want to see what he agreed on. Are you getting disability, sir?
No, ma'am, I'm not.
Yes, he is.
No, I'm not. I've been denied twice. I have an attorney.
Did you? Oh, okay, so you applied for disability.
Yes, ma'am, I have.
And when were you injured? In May?
May 1st, 2002.
When did you do all this work for your brother? Before or after that?
During it.
That's why you didn't get disability, Mr. Eldridge.
No, ma'am, it's not.
Well, let's see. You say that during the time that you were seeking disability, that you couldn't work, you erected a fence on each side of the backyard.
With his help.
Hanging a Venta hood for an agreed price. Changing a starter in a Camaro. Then you did brakes for a truck.
I'll sit down to do that.
You're a hustler, Mr. Eldridge. You pay your brother back the electric bill, $257.33. Your counterclaim's dismissed, that's all.
Pardon, excuse, you may step out.
Defendant is your former boyfriend. You lived together for a period of time, and you have a child together.
Yes.
You don't live together anymore, and according to your complaint, he owes you for bail money. He had been arrested on a domestic violence complaint. I assume you were the victim in that domestic violence complaint.
Yes.
And in addition to that, you want him to pay his portion of the remainder of the lease on the apartment that you live in, despite the fact that you put him out of the house. You say he's responsible for it, he's on the lease, he should pay. When was he arrested for domestic violence?
On November 16th.
What were the circumstances of his arrest?
We went to a wedding. It was Julio and my daughter and myself.
How old's your daughter?
She's a year and a half.
Okay.
And Julio was drinking quite a bit. I asked him to slow down, but he chose not to, and he got pretty intoxicated. He got to the point where he wasn't really coordinated in his walk, so we left, and he started to get belligerent in the car.
So you were driving and he was in the passenger seat?
I have a van, so he was in the back with the baby in the car seat.
What was he doing in the back?
He was yelling a lot of names at me, getting really
nasty.
Yes. And I was concerned about my daughter. She was awake and she saw him acting this way. And I told him to stop. He wouldn't, so I told him to get out of the car. I pulled over, told him to get out. First he refused, and then he got out. And then I realized that we were on a busy street. It was in San Francisco. And knowing that he was not walking right, I didn't want him to get hit by a car, so I came out of the car and I asked him to be respectful to me, and I would, drive him home and stuff like that. And he kept arguing with me, and it turned violent at that point.
What do you mean it turned violent? What happened?
Well, he started to urinate on a tree. And
on a busy street in San Francisco?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds charming.
And I guess he thought it was funny. He started to urinate on my shoe.
Well, he thought it was funny again. Yeah.
He started to urinate on my shoe, and I kind of pushed him away. But I guess he thought I was attacking him, and he just started basically hitting me.
And somebody called the police?
It was 3 ladies in a car were honking the horn at him to stop.
And they must have called the police?
Mm-hmm.
And they came and they arrested you. Is that right, sir?
Yes.
Perfect. Exactly what should have happened, right?
Yes.
You don't think anything else should have happened, right?
No.
You were drunk. You were abusive. You were urinating in public. You were hitting her, pushing her. So you should have been arrested, right?
Yes, Your Honor, but may I?
Sure. I want to hear you.
We have a commitment. We make a commitment to each other.
No, you didn't. What kind of commitment do you have?
Well, if I drink, she drives, and if she...
Oh, I thought you were talking about a marriage commitment.
No,
sir.
no.
Oh, no. You have a commitment that if you drink, she drives. And if she drinks, you drive.
I drive, right.
Good. So you have an arrangement, not a commitment. A commitment is something that 2 people usually have together when they start a family, when they make a baby. They go to a minister, they go to a rabbi, they go to a priest, they go to a clerk, they get married. You do what I'm talking about.
So an arrangement.
You had an arrangement.
Right.
The arrangement was when you drink, she drives you home. So I'm listening. I'm waiting. Let me hear you.
We had similar circumstances when she drinks. She gets
I'm not interested in similar circumstances.
Okay.
Did she ever urinate on your foot?
She did worse than that, Your Honor.
I don't want to know.
But I'm not here for that, right?
I want you to tell me what happened that day that in any way minimizes your fault, your culpability.
Well, I don't feel that I should pay all the money to her.
Very
we went
few
to a
people
wedding.
do.
She started hitting me, and she did this, pull me out of the car. I wasn't doing anything back there.
I believe she pulled you out of the car. I believe she did. Listen, just because she's very soft-spoken, I don't necessarily buy into that. You understand that, don't you? Huh?
Yes.
I believe that you grabbed him and pulled him out of the car. And that's why he got out. And you have no right to open up your big fresh mouth in front of a baby.
I wasn't doing that, Your Honor.
Well, why would you think, sir, that she would pull you out of the car?
She thought I was on the phone talking to my ex-girlfriend. That's what she pulled me
in the back of the car?
In the van, right.
Were you on the phone?
No. I don't even know my ex-girlfriend's phone number.
Was that true that he was on the phone? Look at me.
He was talking to his son on the phone.
You know anything about a phone call to his ex-girlfriend? Look at me. Right here.
I heard him mention her name, but I asked him.
You did. When did you hear him mention her name?
During the conversation with his son.
With his son?
Yeah.
Did that make you angry? Look.
That's what
Did that make you angry?
Yes, I questioned him about it.
Okay. Very good. You see what happens, how the worm turns? We get some information? Good. Now, you questioned him about it. We don't question about it. You got angry.
I did question him about it.
And what did he say to you when you questioned him about it?
Nothing. He really didn't have any answer for me. He just kind of looked cross-eyed to me.
Go ahead.
I'm not a violent person. I'm not somebody that's going to drink. I get happy, if anything. And I feel like she provoked me to do what I did. Whatever I did.
You can't provoke somebody.
Well, and I'm not saying that it was right.
Good. Why don't we just stop there? Nobody can provoke another human being into indulging themselves in violence. You can't do that. Because you're supposed to be able to
But I
control
was
yourself.
not
That's what
screaming or
makes us
scream- I
different
wasn't
from
screaming in
animals.
front of my daughter or anything like that.
That's what
After the
makes us-
phone call is when
My
she
mouth-
started.
My mouth is moving. Mr. Castro, human beings control themselves. Animals can't control themselves. And if you drink to a point where you can't control yourself and you just act out the way you feel, you have to be responsible for that. So 3 ladies in a car were so concerned about what they saw that they called the police and you were arrested. And that was the bail. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Why is he responsible for the bail?
I picked him up. I asked him when we were walking across the street to the bailiff's office. I told him how important I needed that money back.
And what did he say?
He told me he promised he would pay me back every single penny.
Is that right?
I don't remember saying that, Your Honor. I started paying her because it wasn't enough money for the bail, and she told me she needed some money, so I said, okay, I'll give you. So I gave her $500 and
Afterwards, sir.
afterwards.
Don't play with me. After she posted the bail, you started to pay her back.
Yes,
Not on your way over to get the bail, afterwards. And how much did you pay her back?
$500,
That's what she says. Now, how long were you in jail, sir?
16 hours, something like that.
Okay, so not long. So
No.
you got out on the 17th. When you got out, where did you go?
We went back to the house
Is that right?
Yes.
When did you leave the house?
10 days later because it was just
Tell me what
arguing
happened.
and fightings and.
Tell me what happened 10 days later.
Well, from the time I got out of jail, maybe the following day, she just, and I understand, she felt like she didn't want me around, and we just kept arguing every day. She's got a 14-year-old, and it was arguing all day in front of the kids, calling each other names, and just, you know, so.
So you decided to leave?
I decided to leave. I thought it was the best thing for both of us.
Probably true.
For the kids.
Are you still living there?
Yes.
Good. Why do you think he should pay for the balance of the lease?
Because he chose to leave and he...
No. You didn't want him to stay. And it was dangerous for him to stay. You have a 14-year-old and an infant? Why should they be around constant bickering and quarreling?
True, Your Honor, but you know, he signed a lease that, you know, he should at least fulfill his lease.
Well, where'd you expect him to live? You can't pay rent at your house and someplace else.
He doesn't pay anything at his son. I don't see why he cannot pay the remainder of the lease.
You should take him to court for child support. He should pay child support.
That's not true, Your Honor. I still pay my son for living there. I don't live there for free.
No. I'm not talking about where you're living now, you pay your son. I'm talking about child support for your baby, sir.
I'm taking care of my baby. You know?
You mean the baby lives with you?
No, I'm helping her with the baby.
What do you mean you're helping her? Tell me.
Giving her money.
How much? It's not an answer.
500.
500 or what?
A month.
When was the last time you gave her $500?
December. I paid the rent that month.
In
I
December?
paid half of the rent, yes.
How much
So,
was half of the rent?
$675.
Did he pay half of the December's rent?
Yes, he did.
Okay, what about January?
No.
Why not?
Because we were coming to court.
You have to support your child.
Yes, I do. I know.
She shouldn't have to take you to court to get you to do that. You should do that by yourself. But you have to do that regularly, every week or every 2 weeks or every month.
I never said that I wasn't going to pay child support. I wasn't going to help my daughter.
You have to do it.
I know. I never said.
A month went by. So far, I didn't see any money. Where was the money for last month?
I haven't given it to her yet.
Why not?
Well, I was waiting for the court.
What do you mean you were waiting? A child has to eat, right?
Well, she eats all the time. I still go over there and, you know,
Mr. Castro,
I still
Mr.
go
Castro,
to Safeway and
what
get
you're
her
supposed
food.
to do is take care of your responsibilities. Do you understand?
I think I do take care.
Well, you didn't. A, you didn't take care of your bail. You paid $500 and the bail, according to the plaintiff, was $3,500, leaving a balance of $3,000. Is that right?
Yes.
Let me see the paperwork. So that's not taking care of your responsibility. It's your bail. You acted badly. You failed to control yourself. It's not her bail, it's yours. And you said you would pay her back. And you did give her $500, but then you stopped. I want to know why you stopped. And you have no answer for that? Is this the first time you were arrested for domestic violence, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
First time you were arrested?
No.
When was the last time you were arrested?
1991.
Were you ever incarcerated?
No.
What happened with this case?
It was dismissed. I was supposed to go to court the following Wednesday, and when I showed up for court, they said that the case was dismissed.
Okay. $3,000 he owes you. I don't think he's responsible for the rest of the rent. I think, however, he is responsible for child support. You live there with your 2 children? You have 2 children?
Yes.
Do you get child support for your 14-year-old son?
No.
Why not?
His father's deceased.
So does he get Social Security?
No. He's been deceased since I was 7 months pregnant, so I was very young. I did not do anything about it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
She gave up her business to come and volunteer with yours for nothing? She had her own business. You mean to tell me she gave it up? She wasn't in love with you.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rita Candia says during a night out, ex-boyfriend Julio Castro became drunk and belligerent.
You have to start to pay some child support, Mr. Castro.
I don't have a problem with that, Your Honor.
Very good. How much are you going to pay her?
We talked about between $500 and $600.
When was the last time you talked about it?
Maybe about a month ago, 3 weeks ago.
How much money did he give you last month?
Nothing.
Is that right, Mr.
He just gave me maybe diapers.
Right.
Mr. Castro, the first thing I want you to do when you get home is write her out a check. Write her out a check for $500. Because along with certain pleasures that you get from children, you also have responsibilities. So
I don't have a problem with that.
Then start paying. Do you understand?
Yes.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I didn't feel like it was all my fault.
I didn't pour alcohol down his throat.
We were both drinking.
When the red flags show, listen to it or walk away from it.
And now the next case. Refrigerator technician Philip White is suing his neighbor, electrician Cesar Vargas, for shooting his Rottweiler named Bones. Cesar says Bones was in his front yard threatening his daughter.
Order. All rise. This is case number 192 on the calendar in the matter of White versus Vargas. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats.
Mr. White, according to your complaint, sir, the defendant is a neighbor of yours.
Yes.
And he shot your dog.
Yes, he did.
The dog survived.
Yes.
And still have the dog, but you had a lot of vet bills.
Right.
And you wanted him also to pay for the psychological damage that was caused to you and your family as a result of this shooting.
Yes.
Where was your dog when he shot the dog?
My dog was in his front yard when he was shot.
And where were you?
I was out of town. I was on vacation.
And who was with the dog at the time that he shot the dog that was in his front yard?
No, when the dog had gotten out of the backyard to the fence.
And what kind of little dog was this?
He's not a little dog. He's a Rottweiler.
A Rottweiler?
Yes.
And the Rottweiler, I mean, I know a little bit about dogs. A Rottweiler weighs several hundred pounds.
Yes.
Right?
Right, 100, yes.
Well, what was your dog doing in his front yard?
I'm not sure what he was doing, but he was just cutting through, I believe, heading back down the street like he does occasionally.
That's outrageous, sir. What is your 100-and-some-odd-pound dog doing out unattended by a member of your family who's able to control the dog? What if somebody's afraid of dogs?
Well, the dog, it's kind of hard to difficult to keep the dog in the yard sometimes, but when the dog does get out.
Never! It's never too hard to keep a big dog in your own property, in the house, in the yard, fenced in, tied up, or at all times under your control. I read this and it sounded to me as if you're the victim. You're not the victim. Your dog is the victim of your negligence. Is this your wife?
No, it's my neighbor.
Who else lives in your home?
No one.
Just you?
Yes.
When you went out that day, where did you leave your dog?
In the house.
Well, then how'd the dog get out of the house?
Well, I had a carpenter there working on the house who had gone out to get some wood. The dog had come outside to go to the bathroom. He'd carried the wood back into the house and then heard the shot.
This is what your carpenter is telling you.
Yes, this is what I was
But your dog's gotten out before.
Yes, he has.
Right. Well, that's what I gathered. And you're here as a neighbor to tell me it's a sweet, loving, friendly dog that you're not afraid of. Is that right?
Correct.
I don't care. Some little 5-year-old might be afraid of a 150-pound Rottweiler that comes walking up to them, even if it's the friendliest dog in town. So, that being the case, let me get to Mr. Vargas over here. Mr. Vargas, I gather that initially you denied that you shot the dog, but then you said to him, yeah, I shot your dog. Your dog was in my front yard, and my child was out there. Was your child outside?
Yes, she was.
How old is your child?
She's 13.
This your child?
Yes.
You have a picture of the dog?
Yes, I do.
Sure, let me see it. Looks like an absolutely lovely, lovely dog. For you to keep in your house, under your control, not to think it's just such a wonderful dog, everybody's going to love it.
Well, I don't feel it that way. I know the dog looks like it could be, very dangerous, but he's not by any means. As a matter of fact, my neighbors all know the dog very well because, like I said, the dog's kind of he's been raised around humans. He's never been with other dogs. He thinks he's human himself. Everybody who comes over, he meets him at the front door to be petted. He's a loving dog. All the neighbors love him, of course. Like I said, he's never had any incident before where he's caused any damage to anyone or even threatened anyone.
Listen, Mr. White, this dog is doing what this dog has been trained to do, which is he's a block dog. He feels as if he has sort of control to go outside if he wants to. People adore him. They may give him a treat. Your neighbor adores him, which is all very nice. But this is a very large animal. This isn't a Chihuahua that can't cause substantial damage. If somebody is walking in a baby carriage and for some reason this dog gets spooked by something, and even if the dog doesn't go over and try to hurt them, they can start running, the baby carriage can tip over, the baby can become injured through no fault of the dog's, through your fault. Well, that's your fault.
But isn't that the reason to have dog pounds and a dog catcher in case your dog does get out, or a dog registry for lost dogs?
What if you think that this dog, because you don't know the dog, all you see is this huge dog on your lawn.
Well, wait a second.
Your daughter is screaming outside. Is that what was happening? Step up. Now you tell me. What happened when you saw the dog?
When I saw the dog, it was barking at me and showing its teeth, like in an angry way.
Were you frightened?
Yes.
Where were you standing?
In my driveway.
And where was the dog?
At the end of the driveway.
And what happened next?
I called my dad's name and he had gone and get his gun and he took care of it.
And he shot the dog? Didn't kill it? No. Right. That's what pounds are for.
Well, like I said.
Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
Say I was inside the house. I was looking out our bay window and looked across the street. They were outside.
Who's they?
Caesar, the kids, the whole
kids.
family. Right.
Yes.
Didn't see the dog. All I seen was him standing at his garage. Two sounds that sounded like a shotgun, but it was getting close to 4th of July, so I thought maybe it was firecrackers. Ran back to the back door and opened up the garage door, and that's when I seen the puffs of smoke coming from his garage. But like I said, I did not know at that point in time the dog had been shot.
Just a minute. So you saw his daughter outside?
Yes, but the dog wasn't barking and they weren't screaming.
Listen, how long have you been neighbors?
3 years.
Have you ever seen the dog out before?
Yes.
Did you ever shoot the dog before?
No.
Did you ever say anything to him about the dog before?
No.
But the dog has been out before.
Right.
And it's true, over the last 3 years, you've not had a problem with him. Is that right?
No, I haven't had a problem at all with him, except for the fact that a couple weeks prior to this, I'd been riding my motocross bike in some trails there in my neighborhood. While bringing the bike back home, I passed his wife on the sidewalk. She was walking down the sidewalk with a stroller, and she hollered something at me like, slow down, and I went on by her and went on home with the bike. And maybe 20, 30 minutes later, the police showed up at my house and said that they had a report saying that I was riding the bike in their yard. I told them at that time that I wasn't riding the bike in anybody's yard. I'd taken it down the trails and back. And so,
were you going too fast, sir?
No.
You don't think so?
I don't believe so, no. It's allowed.
Why do you think after 3 years of no problem, all of a sudden you would have a problem with them? If I'm a good neighbor and if I'm driving a motorcycle and his wife is walking with a baby in a baby carriage.
Right.
First of all, you don't have a Rottweiler roaming around in a neighborhood where there are babies in baby carriages. Period.
Right.
End of
My
discussion.
dog doesn't roam the neighborhood.
Yes, your dog gets out and has gotten
he has
out
broken
before.
out of the fence, like all dogs get out of their fence.
No, sir. You say that that's okay. It's not okay.
Well, I don't agree that it's okay, and I do my best.
It's not okay.
I do my best to keep the dog in the
But
fence.
your best isn't good enough.
Like I said,
Your best, Mr. White, isn't good enough.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If you're driving a motorcycle and you pass a woman and she says to you, hey, slow down, and what you said is you just kept on going.
Well, yes.
No, just a minute. That's what you said.
Yes,
oh,
I
yeah,
did.
that's what I did. I just kept on going. That to me is rude. Rude!
And later today,
I agreed to loan him the money to keep him out of jail.
Your Honor, I worked on her computer at least 4 times.
So what? You're hustling me, sir.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Philip White says neighbor Cesar Vargas shot his Rottweiler Bones. Cesar says Bones was threatening his daughter.
If you're going out and you have carpenters in your house that you know are going to be taking wood in and taking wood out, and you're not going to be there all day, you take your dog to a kennel. And you say, I want to make sure my dog doesn't get out because it's dangerous for my dog to be out in the street. It could cause a car accident. So I'm going to take my dog to the kennel for the day because I'm not around to supervise this 150-pound dog. That's what you do.
Well, if the man had shot my dog to defend his family, I would have thought that was one thing.
That's what he says he did.
That's what he says he did. And why then he told me that he didn't do it? Why did he deny it?
Because he didn't want to get into an argument with you.
When the police asked him why he shot the dog, he denied it to them also.
Why do you think he shot your dog?
I think he shot my dog because he, as out of vindication, or maybe possibly shooting the wrong dog. Like I said, my dog's real fat popular. My dog lived on.
All right, Mr. White, you ain't going to get it, sir. Listen to me. You know why you're not going to get it? You're not going to get it for two reasons. First of all, if you're driving a motorcycle and you pass a woman who's walking with a baby carriage and she says to you, hey, slow down, and that's your neighbor, and what you said is you just kept on going.
Well, yes.
No, just a minute. That's what you said.
Yes,
oh,
I
yes,
did.
that's what I did. I just kept on going. That to me is rude. Rude! Because you stop the motorcycle and you say to your neighbor, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was going too fast. I'm sorry if I frightened you. That's what you say to a neighbor. You don't say, psh.
Well, obviously, my neighbor and I aren't that close, so I mean,
I don't care whether you're close or not.
My neighbor's there. Tell the police.
What difference is it if it's your neighbor or not? If a woman walking with a baby carriage says to you that you're driving too fast, then you stop and you say, I'm sorry. You seem to think everything you do is okay.
No.
Pay the vet bill. It's your responsibility. And go and say, I'm sorry to your dog. Goodbye.
I just excuse. You may step out.
I was just frightened from my child.
I don't believe the time that the dog was threatening anybody.
I grabbed my shotgun.
The dog avoids people. He's never attacked or done anything that played with children.
I wouldn't aim, and I just shot towards it.
I feel very unfair for the dog.
I just hope it doesn't happen again and none of my brothers and sisters get hurt.
And now the next case. 23-year-old information operator Aisha Austin is suing her ex-boyfriend, 23-year-old public safety equipment installer Marcus Wynn, for vandalism and
former boyfriend, according to the complaint that I've read, and you lived together for a period of time. Is that right?
That's correct.
According to you, you had an argument with him. During that argument, he assaulted you.
Yes, ma'am.
Later, he went out and vandalized your car, destroyed your property that was inside your house, then came back into your house at a later date, broke into your house, destroyed some more property. Mr. Wynn says that he never assaulted you. As a matter of fact, you assaulted him, that you destroyed your own property, vandalized your own car because you had a hissy fit, and he doesn't owe you a dime. Is that right, sir?
Just about right.
Can I ask you anything?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Miss Austin, how long did you live together?
We lived together for about 8 months.
Did he move into your house, or did you move into his, or did you take the place together?
Well, the lease was in my name, but he moved in with me at the same time as I moved in.
When did you have this argument?
The argument started November 26th on our way home from work.
Okay, well, what happened on the 26th of November?
We were on our way home from picking up the kids from school, and we were talking, and
Well, were you on the way home from work or school?
Well, we was on our way home from work, but on the way home from work, we pick up the children from daycare and from my sister's house.
Whose children?
My children, my 2 sons.
Were they in the car when you had this argument?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are they?
4 and 7.
What was the argument about?
Well, we were having a discussion, and Mr. Wynn stated that I looked old. From that discussion,
well, what did he say? I want to hear what he said.
Well, he said that when he met me that I looked old. He was attracted to older women. When he met me, that was one of his attractions because I looked old at the time that he met me.
That's not true. That's not how it actually went.
Okay, and
okay.
Go ahead, sir. And you said?
From that, I got offended, and we started having an argument about that.
Well, tell me what you said to him.
Well, I told him that, well, at first I didn't say anything, and then I told him that I didn't know that he thought that I looked old, and I did take offense to him saying that.
You weren't speaking the same way you're speaking to me now.
No, ma'am.
You were screaming at each other.
Not at that point, we weren't screaming at each other. We didn't, the screaming didn't actually start until we got to our home.
And what was the screaming about?
Well, this argument progressed on, so we started discussing other things like financial, him not being able to support our home financially and different things like that. And Mr. Nguyen then left the house in my vehicle, and when he left, he stayed gone like 2 hours. When he returned, he laid his keys on the table and went to the bathroom. When he laid his keys on the table, I went to get my car key off of his key ring. He then came out of the bathroom, and it advanced into a struggle. He tried to take the keys away from me, and I wouldn't give him the keys. So at that time, he then punched me in the stomach and in the back of the head, and I fell on the floor. Okay. At that time, he punched me in the stomach and the back of the head, and I fell on the floor. Where were your children? They were in their bedrooms asleep.
But then they woke up.
Right. My younger son woke up. At that time, when he punched me in the stomach and the back of the head, I tried to call the police, so I reached for the phone. At the time, Mr. Nguyen grabbed the phone and ripped the phone lines out of the wall. I got up and tried to go into the kitchen and use the phone as well. He ripped that one and the phone in the children's room out of the wall as well.
Let me see the police report. Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Nguyen then left out of the door and went outside and started to remove items from my vehicle that he had placed on there.
Like what?
Like lights. He puts neon lights on the vehicle and different things like that. And I went out the back door and ran down the street to the payphone to call 911. When I returned, Mr. Nguyen was already gone with both sets of keys to our house and my car, and had locked my sons inside of my apartment.
So what did you do?
The police came. When the police came, they helped me beat on the door, and my 7-year-old son woke up and came and opened the door for us to get in.
You have pictures of the car?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
I'd like to see them. Okay, go ahead.
About 3 o'clock in the morning, Mr. Nguyen returned to our residence. He came in and he went to my children's room because that's where he kept a basket with some of his clothing in it. So when I went in the room, I told him he was not going to take the car again. At that time, he informed me that his mother was outside of our home waiting for him. So I told him, since it was 3 o'clock in the morning and when I wake the children, I would help him move his things out. So I started taking things out to his mother's car. She had her trunk open of her car, and I started putting things in there. At that time, Mr. Nguyen went into my apartment and started throwing things out of the apartment, like my dolphin. I collect dolphin figurines. He threw them out. The children had 2 small betta fish, and they had 2 little separate tanks. He threw those out the front door and killed both of the fish. He took my hammer, and burst my 10-gallon fish tank. I had an Oscar fish in it. He took a hammer and burst the fish tank, ruined the carpet in the living room, and glass was everywhere. And so I took and ran up the hill and back down to the corner and used the payphone again to call 911.
You have another police report?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it, please.
This police report is of another incident. That one, the first one that you have, states that they came back a second time.
This is from another incident?
Yes.
When was this?
I left town on that same day and went to my hometown. Stayed gone for about 3 days. When I returned, Mr. Nguyen had broken into my apartment because I had the locks changed before I left, and ruined several things, taken several things, jewelry, different things like that from my apartment while I was out of town. He had poured pills in my sink in my bathroom, broken glass in my bathtub.
Now I'll hear you, Mr. Nguyen.
Actually, I'm gonna start from the beginning, just like she did. The ride home, we was having a mutual conversation. She basically said, "You thought I was some young girl, this and that and that and this." I said, "No, I thought you were older." Then she said, "What does that mean?" I said, "You could take it or leave it how you want it." She kind of got offended by it or whatever. Basically said nothing the rest of the ride home. When we get to the house,
I'd like you to look at me when you speak.
When we get to the house, she basically brings up the incident again. So you think she said,
look at me right here.
She said, trying to breathe. She said that you offended me. She said you offended me when you called me old. I said I did not call you old, and she was like, "Well, you need to apologize." I said I'm not apologizing because I did not call you old. she basically told me I would be sorry, so I got offended by that. You know what I'm saying? Took a shower, and I planned on going to sleep after that. She came yanking covers off of me, telling me that I need to get up, do this, do that. And I told her, I said, I'm not finna talk to you to be arguing with you, so I'm finna go.
So you told her you were leaving?
Yes.
And you left?
I left.
And how did you go?
I left as, you know, like any normal, I wasn't mad.
No,
I mean,
did you leave in her car?
It was, you know, at that time, what's mine is yours and yours is mine. That's how we had it.
What did you have? Shh, listen to me.
I'm sorry.
What did you have?
At that time?
Did you have an apartment?
No.
Did you have a car?
No.
So what did you bring to the table?
I brought whatever, you know, at that time I provided.
That's a reasonable question. Why are you looking like that? It's a reasonable question.
Right.
What did you bring to the table? What's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine, is what you say.
Right. And, you know, it's basically...
Right, that's what I thought you were saying.
Whenever we needed anything in the apartment or anything like that, I would either get it or she would get it, or we'd go together and get
All I asked you was, what was it that you brought? She had the home, she had the car. What did you bring?
I went half with her on the deposit, half with her on the rent, and whatever other bills we did. So that's how it basically was. It's like we went half and half on everything.
So you left in her car?
Right.
And what happened when you came back?
When I found out she wasn't asleep, I seen she was trying to take keys off the key ring, which to the car, and also at the time I thought the apartment too. And I tried to take the keys from her. You see what I'm saying? And at that time, she punched me.
That's not true.
Don't interrupt him.
She punched me 2 times, and I reacted in punching her.
We're going to go through this carefully.
Okay.
She's taking the keys off the ring.
Right.
You come into the room.
Right.
You go over to her.
Okay. The way she had the keys,
in her hand.
My key ring has a little long thingy on it. I reached out and grabbed it. I basically put them on the couch, in the back of the couch, turned my back towards her. At that time, that's when I was punched. And when I was punched, I turned around and punched her.
Show me how you were punched.
She punched me like, you know, it was 2 hits, and it was more like a you know what I'm saying? It was 2 hits, just that quick, and just as quick as she hit me, I hit her back.
Now what happened next, sir?
I really vaguely don't remember how we ended up outside, but when I ended up outside, she told me to get all my stuff out the car, you know, all the stuff that I put on the car, take it off. She jumps in the car, I jumps in the car. She yanking lights off and everything on the inside of the car because I had neons on the inside of the car. I said, just let me take them off. When I get my tools out the trunk of the car, she's telling me she's going to call the police or whatever.
So you're telling me she's vandalizing her own car?
At that time, yes.
I don't think I believe that.
That's not true.
I don't think I believe that. I may believe some of the things that you tell me, but I don't believe that she's vandalizing her own car, sir.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today...
That's a lie, Your Honor. She came and got all her stuff. Her sister even took her.
If you say one more thing to me without my looking at you, then I'm going to grant a petition with her son's fish. Look at my eyes.
Okay. I went in the house and I went inside the room to gather some clothes because I wasn't planning on staying for the rest of that week.
The fish.
Right. I'm getting to that part.
Get there.
Okay. When she noticed I was trying to leave, she started grabbing my dishes and, like she said, throwing them in the back of my mom's car and was breaking them at the same time. I kind of got agitated and I started throwing her stuff out. She started throwing stuff of mine out. I started just picking up stuff and going crazy myself. I took the fish, threw them around, went across the fish tank with a hammer, and that's just plain and simple.
Got there. Then there came a time when you came back to the house.
Correct.
But she had changed the locks.
Right.
The lease wasn't in your name.
Right.
So you broke into the house.
Right.
You can't do that, Mr. Wynn. Now, I'm not saying that Miss Austin didn't lose her temper. Miss Austin.
Yes, ma'am.
I believe you probably lost your temper a little bit. That be a fair statement?
Yes, ma'am.
Ones I feel most sorry for are those 2 little children who are in the house, seeing the 2 adults that they supposedly look up to acting like a bunch of school children, fighting with each other, screaming, yelling, killing their pets. You should both feel terrible about that.
I do.
What? No, you didn't. If you did, then you
Not at that time I didn't, but, you know, once I sat down and thought about it, I did.
Can I see an estimate on the car, please?
I don't have the estimate
Well, how am I supposed to determine how much it'll cost to fix the car?
But when I went to get the estimate done, the shop was already closed, the service department, so I wasn't able to get the estimate done.
So what does he owe you money for? Fish, for sure.
He took a lot of things from my apartment. I have that on the paper as well. He has not returned anything that he's taken.
Like what?
Jewelry, different. What
kind of jewelry?
I have a herringbone chain, a rope chain.
Did you take any jewelry from her house? Oh, it's not an answer.
Yes, I did.
Where is it?
Where is it? It's at my mom's house as of now.
All the jewelry is to be returned to her within 5 days.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm awarding you $250, which you're going to use to go out and refurbish a fish tank for the children. Yourself, get the children. You should write them a note of apology.
Well, I kind of planned on talking to them face to face and letting them know how much of, apology I would like to give them.
5 days. I'll prepare an order. All the jewelry goes back to her. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
That's all. Goodbye.
What is your excuse? You may step out.
I just feel like it got out of control that night, and it's something that shouldn't have happened at all.
Man, you'd have thought we was at WWF Wrestling.
The best way to handle it is just to have left it alone in the beginning.
It was just like a mad man and a mad woman going at each other.
I like to get my life back on track.
And now the next case. Insurance coordinator Delinda Shubin is suing house cleaner Sandra Greaves for damage to her car caused by her daughter, 14-year-old Chelsea. Chelsea and her mother claim Delinda's daughter, 15-year-old Camellia McIntosh, is also to blame.
There are 2 daughters up here, please. Tell me your first name.
Camellia.
And yours?
Chelsea.
According to what I've read, Chelsea was spending the night at your house. Is that right?
That's correct.
And it is your claim that sometime within that 24-hour period, without your knowledge, consent, or permission, Chelsea drove your car, causing some serious mechanical problems, and you want her mother to pay for half of the damage to your car.
That's correct.
Mrs. Greaves says that she would pay for some of the damage initially. Then the bill came in, and it was a substantial amount of money, and she thinks that your daughter is primarily responsible for what happened with the car, so she's balking at the bill.
That's correct.
Okay. So, Camellia, what date was this when you used your mother's car?
It was, oh my gosh, I think it was October 26th or something. Or not October 26th, December.
Well, October to December. We're not even in the same month.
I know it's the same night of our winter formal, I know that.
Winter formal?
Yes.
When was the winter formal? In what month? Think.
December.
There you go. I knew by the process of deduction we would get somewhere. Ms. Shubin, what was the date in December?
The winter formal was January 11th. That was a Saturday.
Had both of you girls gone to the winter formal?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now tell me what happened with your mother's car.
Well, it was that morning.
Well, tell me what happened. Did you go to sleep?
We went to sleep. We woke up. We were getting ready for the winter formal. We went to the car to get my glitter.
Where was the glitter?
In the passenger seat.
What was the glitter going to be used for?
Our hair.
Why did both of you have to go out to get the glitter?
Because I didn't know where I left it. She was looking on the driver's side. I was looking on the passenger side.
And the car was unlocked?
No, I went inside and I asked my mom if I can get the keys to open the drawer to get the glitter.
Where was your mother when you asked her that question?
She was laying asleep in bed.
And what did she answer you?
She said, well, just go get the glitter inside the car.
And she gave you permission to get the keys?
Yes.
Took the keys and you went outside with Chelsea?
Yes.
And you had the keys in your hand?
Yes.
You opened up the driver's side or the passenger side?
Passenger.
Okay, and?
And then I opened the door for her. I gave her the keys to open the door.
And according to what you told me a moment ago, the glitter was on the passenger seat.
Well, it wasn't on the seat. It was under the seat.
It was under the seat?
Yeah.
What was it doing under? Bert, are you enjoying this as much as I am?
Oh, yes.
I knew you would.
Wonderful tale.
There's nothing like honing your cross-examination skills. You opened up the passenger door.
Yes.
Why are you opening up the driver door?
So she can look on that side.
Yes.
Yes. And her elbow accidentally hit the emergency brake.
Now, where is her body positioned? She's at the driver's side, right?
Yes.
And she's looking under the seat?
Yes. But she was on top of the seat looking under.
No, darling. Listen to me, sweetheart.
Okay.
That doesn't make sense. That may be the story you told your mother, but I want you to see this, okay? Bird, I want you to pull that chair out for me, would you? Just pull it out just a tad. Now, that's the driver's seat in the car.
Yes.
According to you, Chelsea is looking for the glitter under the seat because it's not over the seat. And according to you, she's looking under the driver's seat while sitting in the driver's seat. Is that right?
She was laying on it. She was like...
Show me. Sit down in the driver's seat.
She was like this and then looking under like that.
No. Show me. Show me. She's leaning in the car.
And then she's going like that. She was looking
you can't see anything from where your head is, darling.
She was going like that. That's how she was looking.
And then what happened?
And then she accidentally hit the emergency brake.
Show me how you do that. Show me how you do that.
She just hit it.
No. Show me how you do that. I want to see. She's looking all the way down, right?
Yeah.
Looking get down further. You can't see anything from where you're looking. You can't see anything from where you're looking. You see, what you have to do is if you're looking underneath the seat of the car, you have to look from the outside of the car in order to see all the way underneath. See, now I want you to step out. Step out of the driver's side. Now, stop right there. Turn around. Now, get down and look under the seat. That's right. Now that a girl. Then you can get down. You can't get down if your feet are on top of the car seat. So that's the story you told your mother. It's a story I don't buy. But let's continue on with your fairy tale. Her hand accidentally hit the emergency brake and the car did what?
Started rolling back.
And what happened when it rolled back?
She pushed the brake in.
With her hand?
No, with her foot.
How did she? Oh, that's good. Okay, so show me now. Now I want you to lean over and show me how she's looking underneath. Okay, lean over, show me she's underneath. Okay, now just a second. Let's do this slowly because you're watching her, right?
Yes.
You're watching her carefully.
Yes.
Bend down. You're looking. Now, hand accidentally hit the emergency brake, which is
and then
where?
It went like that.
Like there. Now, show me. With what foot did she put?
Down and went like that. And
she immediately turned around and sat down.
Yeah.
Oh, now I understand. Now it all becomes clear. Now, somehow, from the time that her foot miraculously got a hold of the emergency brake in order to stop the car from rolling backwards, you got into the passenger seat of the car, and she takes the key, which she's holding, and puts the key in the ignition and turns it on.
Yeah.
Now, I want to know what happened first. Did you get into the passenger side first?
Yes.
And after you got into the passenger side, what happened with the key?
What happened with the key?
Yeah, she's holding the key. She is just, I'll get to you in a minute. Okay. So, get to you in a minute.
Okay.
Now that you see what can happen to you, we're going to get to you in a second.
Okay.
Good. Okay. Now you're holding the key in her hand.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
She's holding the key in the hand and she turned on the car.
First she has to put it in the ignition.
Yeah.
Well, what did she say when she put it in the ignition?
She said that she was going to pull it up.
Pull it up where?
Because she said she knew how to drive a stick. I don't know how to drive a stick, so I couldn't pull it up.
Keep going.
And then she pulled back and then went up the street. And while she was going up the street, she was grinding the gears. And smoke was going out the back.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Shh. You weren't there. All right, Chelsea.
Okay.
Version 2.
Okay. We went into her mom's car, and what happened...
Just a second.
Okay.
Let's talk about this glitter. Is that why you went into the car?
We went in there to look...
Look at my eyes.
We went in there to look for the glitter and to talk. Because her mom was asleep, and we didn't want to awake her mom.
Just a minute. How big is her house? Or does she have a one-room apartment?
No, she has a house.
How many rooms are in the house?
I think 3. There are 3 bedrooms.
Oh, well, so there are 3. There are 3 bedrooms?
Yes.
And I assume that her mother only sleeps in one of those rooms?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Then can you explain to me why you had to go into the car to talk?
Well, we were also looking for the glitter. We were sitting down and we were looking, and my arm, my elbow, hit the emergency brake. We rolled back, we rolled down. She ran in to get the keys in the car, and she's like, "Can you drive a stick?" I said yes, and she
Hold on a second. So here we have a little different story. Here you did not have the keys to the car before you got out there. The car was open.
Yes.
So then she goes inside and gets the keys and comes back outside.
Yes.
And what do you do next?
She's like, "Can you drive a stick?" And I said yes. And she's like, "Why don't you go into the cul-de-sac and drive back up?"
Why is that?
Because it was at a better angle than just driving it back up the driveway, because we didn't want her mom to know, because we were afraid her mom was going to be upset. So we went to the cul-de-sac, and she's like, "Well, why don't you just go up the street?" We went up the street 2 times and pulled back in.
What did you say to her when she said, well, why don't we just go up the street?
I said, okay.
Why?
Because I thought it would be fun just to go joyriding.
Car making a lot of noise when you had it out?
No, it didn't grind at all.
Now, at some point, you got up.
That's correct.
What time did you get up?
It was about 10:30.
When did you go out to your car?
I ended up going outside probably about 11:30.
11:30, you got into your car?
That's about the time that I got into the car and pulled out of the driveway.
Okay. Where were you going?
I had to go pick my nephew up from school.
And where is that?
That's about 2 miles from my house.
So you drove 2 miles there and 2 miles back, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. So when you got home and you sensed that something wasn't right with your car, what did you do?
I immediately confronted Camellia and Chelsea.
And what did they tell you?
They proceeded to deny to me that they knew anything was wrong with the car. And then Chelsea told me that her elbow hit the emergency brake, and
they gave you this baloney story about the elbow hitting emergency brake.
And they miraculously pushed the car back up into the driveway.
Okay, but that wasn't true because they actually drove the car.
I found out later that evening that they did.
Did you have the car fixed?
Yes, I did.
And how much did it cost you to have it fixed?
A total of $1,877.50. And I have the invoices here.
Can I see it, please?
Yes.
You don't think that she should pay that whole amount, I assume?
That is correct. We initially agreed to split the costs when I spoke to Sandra. But
and that was for the clutch. And I was willing to pay for 2/3 of the clutch because of Chelsea's participation in their joyride. But
you're not responsible for 2/3 of the clutch. Listen, I don't even think that you're responsible for half, but I do think that you're responsible for a portion of this bill. I'm going to tell you why you're responsible for more. Because her daughter was an invited guest at your house. And what you're supposed to do, and you're supposed to be vigilant about, is when you have teenagers in your house, you are supposed to make sure that they can't get their hands on your car keys. That's your responsibility. According to your daughter, you gave her permission to have control of your car. That's according to your daughter, right?
Mm-hmm. Can I also raise a point?
Sure.
I was up till about 3 o'clock in the morning when she had stayed the night also because I try to be a good role model parent to keep an eye on teenagers because I don't know what they have in mind.
You're absolutely right. You never can tell.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
my other brother who I was in business with, who my mother talked me into going into business with this brother.
How old are you?
Old enough to know better.
So don't blame anybody else for your mistakes. I want to hear about the $3,000.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Delinda Shubin claims her car was damaged by her daughter's friend, 14-year-old Chelsea Greaves. Chelsea says Delinda's daughter, 15-year-old Camellia, is also to blame.
Okay. All I'm telling you is it was your responsibility to be vigilant and to make sure that these two girls couldn't get their hands on your car keys, because if something had happened to her daughter, you would have been responsible. Now, that doesn't let you off the hook totally, because you knew you were doing the wrong thing, right?
Yes.
And I have to attempt to earmark responsibility, because certainly the one who's going to suffer is your mother. Not her fault, right? You didn't have any money. How old are you?
14.
So you didn't have any money. The one who's going to suffer is your mother. Now, she had no responsibility whatsoever. She assumes that if her daughter is staying over at somebody else's house, the other adult responsible is going to make certain that their kids can't get into trouble or can't get hurt. But unfortunately, you are partially responsible. And I think you're a third responsible. I think you're a third responsible, and I think you're a third responsible, and I think you're a third responsible. Because I don't think that your mother should be half responsible when the plaintiff was in a position to say to her daughter, you can't have my car keys. You want to go looking for glitter? I'll go look for the glitter with you. I'm not giving you the keys to the car. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $600, which is 1/3 of the damage. That's all.
Oh, he's excused. You missed
Thank you. They didn't feel they were responsible at all.
I just don't think that she caused the problem.
Actually, I never asked her to take it around the block. I was wrong, and I really wish I could take it back because I wouldn't do it. No, I'm never going joyriding ever again.
And now the next case. Throw is suing her neighbor's son, marketing rep Mark Salinas, for damage to her RV. Deborah claims Mark's sons, 11-year-old Taylor and 9-year-old Spencer, were throwing rocks.
Defendant's little boys did some damage to your recreational vehicle, throwing some rocks at you.
Yes, ma'am, they did.
And the defendants say either they didn't do it, or if they did, they didn't cause any damage. Two of you, up here. One sit, one stand. Who's older? Tell me your name.
Charles Taylor Salinas.
You're Charles. And you?
Spencer Mark Salinas.
Have you ever watched this courtroom before?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
And you know that I don't care what you told your mother, and I don't care what you told your father, and I don't care what you told the police. When I ask you a question, I expect one thing, and that is what?
The truth.
Right. Now, who was throwing the rocks in the direction of the recreational vehicle? Raise your hand. Really? Who was throwing rocks at a light post? Who was throwing rocks at all? What were you throwing rocks at?
The telephone wire.
And where was the recreational vehicle parked?
Clear over to the left behind all these trees. You couldn't see it because there was all these bushes in front of us.
So it was behind the bushes, but in the same line as the pole that you were throwing the rocks at?
No.
Then how do you think that the vehicle got damaged with rocks?
I don't know.
And you? You don't know. Now, was it right after you were throwing these rocks that Mrs. Thrall came to your parents' house?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So you think that that's just a coincidence, huh? You think it was a couple of other people who were throwing rocks that hit the truck?
Yes.
Tell me who you think it was.
We don't know because
why?
Because we don't know them.
Did you see Mrs. Thrall outside when you were throwing the rocks?
No.
Did you see her?
No.
What made you stop throwing the rocks?
Our grandma called us in.
Mm-hmm. Are you nervous? You should be. Go back and stand with your parents. Okay, Ms. Thrall, let me hear what you have to tell me.
Well, I heard something hit my house. I went out back because the dogs were barking to check on the dogs, and something flew past my ear. Well, I checked on the dog. He wouldn't come out, and these things kept pelting my trailer really hard. And I thought, well, what the hell's going on? Excuse me. And I looked up, and these two boys were standing there, and they were giggling and laughing. I says, what do you think you're doing?
Did you see the two boys?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Are these the two boys you saw?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
And I told them, I says, you better get inside. I'm coming over to talk to your parents. And they took off running. So it took me a little while to walk out of my backyard and around the block. And I got to their house and knocked on the door. And a man answered the door. And I says, your children were out back pelting my trailer with rocks. I says, what are they doing that for? He says, I don't know that they were. And then they started crying.
Is this the man that you saw?
Yes, ma'am.
What did Miss Thrall say to you when she rang your bell?
Yes, I was visiting my mother's home that night, Your Honor, and so when I opened the door, I expected it was someone coming to see her. I
don't care what you were expecting. What did you say?
Mrs. Thrall was very upset, yelling and screaming. I asked her, could I help her first, and she said, your boys were throwing rocks in my trailer. And I asked the boys to come to the door. My oldest son, Taylor, began to cry.
Why do you think he began to cry?
Because of the intimidation of Mrs. Thrall.
Oh, no. Get real. He wasn't crying because Mrs. Thrall was intimidating him. He was crying because he got caught.
Your Honor, if I may.
Sure.
I believe it was because he was intimidated by her.
I don't care what you believe, sir.
She said my son
That's
needed...
why we have Littleton and Columbine, because parents don't want to look for things in a real way. Now, what would make you think that this lady, who doesn't look like she's heavily sedated or medicated, would come to your house and blame two little boys that looked like butter would melt in their mouth for throwing rocks at her RV at a time, sir, when your boys had been outside throwing rocks?
Your Honor, my boys were out in the back and they were throwing rocks at a telephone wire, and I believe that. As far as the damage to the trailer, I wasn't certain to that because
Just a minute, we're not talking, listen to me.
Okay.
We haven't gotten to the damage yet. We're talking about rocks hitting her trailer. You have two defenses. A, it wasn't them, and B, there was no damage. Correct?
Yes.
So, we are eliminating your first defense and theirs. The rocks that they threw hit her RV and almost hit her and scared her dog. So let's not even talk about the damage first. I would like to know what you said to your sons when they admitted to you that they were throwing rocks.
I told them, one, that that wasn't the right thing to do, but I asked them why were they throwing the rocks and if they hit the trailer. I didn't raise my boys to throw rocks and to damage people's property. So I asked them, similar to what you're doing today, questions.
So?
Were you out there throwing rocks? Yes. Did you hit the trailer? Okay, and they told me no, they did not hit the trailer. I asked them if they heard anything break, any damage, and they said no.
And so what did you do then?
All right, then I continued. Then I talked to Mrs. Thrall.
Forget Mrs.
Right.
Thrall. What did you do then? They're outside, they're throwing rocks. How were they punished?
Well, first of all, I talked to them. Okay, I wanted to get their story. I've told them we do not throw rocks at people's property. That night when Mrs. Thrall was there at the door, I even told them, boys, if you did this, this is wrong. Come up and apologize to her if this is what you did. Okay, and the boys sat there and they were crying. All right, well, Taylor was, and because she continued to tell us that he needed to be on drugs and therapy that night, Your Honor. That is what led the boys to start crying, was her insisting that my boys were vandals and that they had done their...
They were vandals, sir. They vandalized your property. You should have gone out and looked at the property.
I offered to, Your Honor.
So, did you look at her property?
No, she wouldn't let me go down there. I asked her if I could go down and examine the property, and I said, if my boys did any damage, I will be willing to take care of it. Please let me know. And I have a letter...
Just a second. Is that true?
No.
I didn't think so.
Your
Not
Honor.
from reading his answer. What happened when you went to the door? You got a little bit crazed when you went to the door.
I tried to stay as calm as I could. I went
But
to
you
the
weren't
door.
so calm.
Yeah, I rang the doorbell. He answered the door. I told him that two young boys on his property were throwing rocks at my property and had no business doing so. I suggested that maybe they needed to be in football, basketball, or hockey, something outdoor sports to get them away from this sort of thing. And I told him that there was damage done to my trailer and possibly to my dog because I couldn't get him out from underneath the trailer. And he just looked at me and said, yeah, right. He didn't offer to come look at my trailer. He never once implied it. I went home, called the police, had them come by. They took a police report. And
Can I see the police report, please?
Yes, ma'am, and they took pictures. I even have a picture outside my kitchen window as to what the property looked like. And they told the police officer that they were aiming at the pole, which is on my property. And I have the estimate for the damages done on the trailer. They start at $4,000 and going up for the internal damage of the property.
Just a minute. Police asked Spencer and Charles what happened. They told me they were throwing rocks at a power pole and they accidentally broke the window. Police are lying here?
There are two items in that report.
Just a minute. Are they lying in that line?
No.
So that the boys broke the window.
Your Honor, my boys were told that they were going to be taken to kid jail by the officer.
Oh, please.
Your Honor,
Oh, please,
my boys were threatened and told that they would go to kid jail for things and they could be put on...
Listen to me. You keep it making excuses for your children, and you're going to find as they grow older, because of what you did, they were able to sit there and lie like rugs.
Your
Look
Honor.
me square in the eye and say to me that they didn't do anything. And yet, when the police interviewed them immediately afterwards, they said that they were throwing rocks at the power pole and accidentally broke a window. And now you're saying to me that it was all because she intimidated them, the police intimidated them, and I intimidated them. And what I'm telling you is they were able to get over on you and have your full support, so they were able to sit there and lie to me. And if you don't nip it in the bud, mister, you're going to spend a lot of time in court with these two angel-faced boys. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Good.
Completely.
Now, my question to you, Ms. Thrall, is you had had difficulty prior to this. Was the kids throwing rocks at your RV?
Yes, ma'am, ever since I moved in.
Okay. And not always these boys?
No.
So it was just this time you caught these boys?
Right.
Okay, and the boys admit that they broke the window?
Right.
Okay, so we have the damage to the window. Good. Let me see your estimate for the damage to the window.
I had caught the boys a few times prior to that and filed police reports, but they've refused to do anything about it.
You mean these boys?
Yes, ma'am.
These boys?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, that is
They
not
tried
the
to talk
case.
me out of it, saying that the boys would be severely damaged if they happened to go to court and get reprimanded for it.
That's not the case.
The police department we had at the time, and their parents.
And I've since...
Just a minute. You've actually spoken to Mr. Salinas before?
Not him, his mother.
His mother?
Yes.
So his mother was taking care of the boys?
Yes, ma'am.
How many times prior to this incident was it these boys?
3 other times.
Okay, now
Your
let me
Honor,
see.
that's not the truth.
I don't know whether it's the truth or not. She says it is. You don't know. You weren't there. How much did you give her for the window that your boys broke?
Your Honor, I didn't give her anything. I offered to take care of it.
You never offered me a dime.
I don't think you ever did. I honestly don't believe you ever did.
Your Honor, I've also got, without knowing the exact make and model of the trailer, I did also get an estimate as well for the repair to the window.
And what did you get?
$88.28.
And how much is your
for the
estimate
window.
for the window?
Well, for the window, they damaged the outside of the RV as well as the inside from the water damage.
What water damage?
It has a nice little screen on the top of it. They pelted that real good and broke it, and the water got in there and damaged the inside of it. That's what some of
Let me
those
explain
pictures show.
something to you, madam. This is not a windfall for you. If there was water damage, you should have covered the window. Do you understand?
I did with a plastic container.
Fine.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
So she had an accident with a jet ski with a boat that you also owned. So how could you sue her for any damages?
I know that she did not have permission to drive the jet ski.
Impossible. Didn't steal it. And you weren't there.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Deborah Thrall says 11-year-old Taylor Salinas and his brother, 9-year-old Spencer, damaged her RV by pelting it with rocks.
How old is this RV?
It's a 69 Beauvais.
Okay.
Bull Zero.
It's made out of solid metal.
It's 1969 RV. When was the last time you used it?
Last year.
Well, the date of this report was July 2001.
Yes.
So last year was 2002, so you used it in 2002.
I used it for a short time, for about a week.
Fine. Did you have the window fixed?
No, ma'am. They told me they had to special order it.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Mr. Thrall, let me explain something to you. I don't like tall tales no matter who tells them. I don't deal as much with it with adults because you're fully cooked. You're going to tell tall tales. I'm going to call them what they are. They're lies. Don't lie to me about any question that I ask you. If you lie to me, believe me, it doesn't serve you well.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not going to get anything close to what you're looking for.
All the damage that was done to that trailer was done by those boys.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's true. I think
have
it's
a
probably an
witness
attractive nuisance.
May I show you some other pictures that I've taken, Your Honor?
Sure.
That show the exact state of the trailer. Ms. Thrall has also been in trouble with the Parma Police for public nuisance in the garbage in the backyard. They've been asking her to clean it up.
Mr. Salinas, I'm interested in the damage that your sons did to her property. Stop making excuses and telling me that she leaves garbage out there when she shouldn't. That is nonsense. You want to show me pictures of the trailer?
Certainly.
I'll be happy to see them.
Excuse me, how'd you get on my property?
I wasn't on your
Just
property.
a second. Don't speak to him.
Sorry.
Along with that, Your Honor, I did approach 3 different RV dealers in town. I didn't know the exact make
There's
and
no
model.
question before you, sir.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify the pictures for you.
Well, it's clear to me this is
If you
not
will-
worth a whole bunch of money.
If you will, the gas tanks on it and the tires, Your Honor, have been flat since it moved there. So I don't know how it could have been used.
Listen to me.
Your Honor.
I don't believe that the whole thing is worth more than a couple $100. She says to the police, she told me that the dents and windows cost approximately $200. That's what she told the police in July of 2001. Now she's suing for $4,000. I mean, she must be smoking something. She's going to get what she's going to get is $200, which is closer to the figure, because that's what she told the police. But that's what they're responsible for, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $200. That's all.
Why does step out?
I think she probably got $200 too much, and she's making a history of doing these kinds of things.
He won't hold his kids accountable. They did all that damage to my trailer, and it was in perfect condition until they made it a an object for abuse.
And the lesson has been learned. Throwing rocks can cause trouble. Malicious vandalism? No, not intentional.
Fountain manager Andrea Crump is suing 25-year-old homemaker Angela Napier for medical bills and lost jewelry due to a barroom fight.
What's your first name?
My first name, Angela.
Let me see if I understand the relationships here. Ms. Crum, you belong to a dart league. You were playing darts at a sports bar.
Yes.
On your team was Mrs. Napier's boyfriend.
He's the dart captain.
He's the captain?
Yes.
So far correct?
Yes.
Now, according to you, this young lady, Angela, assaulted you and you were injured at the sports bar where you were competing in a dart contest.
Yes.
Along with Mrs. Napier's boyfriend.
Correct.
Angela said that she didn't lay a hand on you, but she does say that there was certain interaction with you on that evening. What was the date?
November 11th, 2002.
So I am going to start with Angela because I was really interested in her answer. What time, Angela, did you and your mother get to the sports bar?
It was probably around 6 or 7.
And you got there, I assume, to watch the boyfriend in the dart game, is that right?
Yeah.
And what is his name?
Rob.
Does he live with your mother?
Yes.
Do you live with your mother?
Yes.
So I want you to tell me what you saw happen with Miss Crum that irritated you.
Okay. We were there, we were all having a good time, and she had been all over basically every man in the bar that night.
What does that mean, all over?
Like hugging, kissing, dancing. She had her hands all over.
Hugging,
everybody.
Kissing, dancing, her arm draped over them, around their waist, that sort of thing. And that irritated you?
No, that didn't irritate me.
Must have been memorable for you because you remember it.
Oh yeah, I remember it.
Go ahead.
And then as she started doing the same thing with my mother's boyfriend, that started to irritate me and irritated my mother, of course.
Now, tell me exactly what you saw her do to Rob.
Okay, he was sitting at the table by my mother, and she walked up behind him and put her arms around him and kissed him on the cheek.
Around his neck?
Yeah, around his neck. He was sitting.
And what did he do?
He just looked at my mom like, what should I do? He didn't say or do anything, really.
He looked at your mother. Show me the expression on his face.
Gosh, it was just like big-eyed, you know, like, I don't know what to do.
So she put her arms around his neck and kissed him on the cheek from behind.
Right.
Next.
And my mom got upset, told her to get her hepatitis C hands off of him.
That was a dumb thing for you to do, madam. This Rob doesn't have a voice? He's a mute?
No.
And why did you open up your mouth to her? Stand up. Why did you open up your mouth?
Because I seen her in the bar many times and ignored her. Got along with her fine, you know, because she wasn't dealing with us.
I'm not talking about many times.
And why did I say that?
I'm talking about she comes up to your boyfriend. She puts her arms around his neck. She's not doing it so that you can't see it. You know, maybe she had a couple, 2 drinks.
She got the story a little wrong. She did do it where I was in the bathroom.
No, listen to me. Your daughter says that you were sitting right there and that Rob turned around and looked at you with big eyes like, what do I do?
Right.
So you're telling me that your daughter was mistaken?
She is mistaken.
Your daughter now is mistaken about a very big
Because he did
event.
that when I came back and told her that. That's when
She had kept doing it through the night over and over again.
Just a minute. Don't change your story. So you turned around and you said to her, get your hepatitis C hands off my boyfriend.
And the reason I said that was because I know she was with somebody that had that disease.
Well, that was a stupid
Well,
thing
it wasn't
for you
very
to
nice,
say.
and I'm not saying it was nice.
It was a stupid thing for you to say. Very dumb. Now you can sit down. Okay. Till I need you again. So now your mother opens up a big fresh mouth, and what do? Be very careful, because I've got your answer that's sworn to right here.
Well, basically, at that point, we didn't do anything. I went up to her after she had walked away and
No. According to you, you said hey, you've got all these guys in here buying you drinks and you're kissing them. Do you think she wants you hanging on her boyfriend?
Yeah, but...
Did you forget that?
No, I said that.
Okay. So after your mother opened up a bit... Just a second. After your mother opened up a stupid fresh mouth, then you decided to finish it off.
Yes.
Then what happened next?
We went back to having a good time. Everything seemed to be fine. And then she started making gestures and giving us the finger. So then I started walking towards her. She was yelling obscenities.
What were you walking towards her for?
Because I was going to confront her and
confront her about what?
She seemed like she had some issues with me, so I was walking.
Of course she had issues with you, madam. You opened up a fresh mouth to her for no reason.
Well, that's why I walked over there.
You went over to confront her.
To confront her, yes.
Now I'll hear you.
I was putting my darts away. I did not realize that there was a problem, if you will, with myself. I was basically hit like a freight train. I went flying into the tables, I fell onto the floor, and I was being hit. And then the next thing you know, I was being picked up and escorted out the bar for my safety.
How do you know it was the defendant who was hitting you?
I don't know that the defendant was hitting me. I was hit.
Do you have any witnesses?
Absolutely.
Then I'll hear the witness. Tell me your name.
Betty Jeter.
Are you on the dart team?
Yes, I am.
I want you to tell me what you saw.
I was standing on the opposite side of the table. There was Andrea. There wasn't another girl that is not here standing next to her. We were putting our darts away, and then I saw Angela coming toward Andy, and she came around the other girl. I seen her hand go around the other girl. Next thing you know, they were down on the floor, tables had flying.
Who's they were down on the floor?
Judy, Andy, and Angela.
Who's Judy?
She's one of the girls that's not here.
Did you see Judy have any issues with this?
No, Judy didn't have any issues with her.
Did you see her strike anybody?
It would have been around Judy, and I didn't see where the hand landed.
Now I'll come back to you.
Okay,
Look at me.
It was
now you're walking over to confront her.
Yes. So I get over there, and before I could even get over there, Judy and her fell on the ground.
No, look at me. Now you're closing your eyes. She and Judy, who had not had any issues.
No, because she didn't realize it was Judy. She had her eyes shut.
Just a second. She didn't have any issues with Judy.
No.
So she and Judy just somehow ended up on the ground, and then you ended up on the ground?
No, I was over there, and me and her were arguing back and forth.
Oh, you didn't say that here, honey. You didn't say that in your answer. I didn't hear anything about arguing back and forth. What were you arguing?
Well, we were arguing the whole time when she was flipping me off, and you know.
I didn't hear that. So how are you arguing? Tell me how you were arguing. She's flipping you off, and you're doing what?
Basically yelling obscenities at her. She was yelling obscenities back at me. And then Judy stepped in to help, I think, to try to break us up from fighting because we hadn't contacted.
Yes.
And she fell on the ground, and she had grabbed Judy and was punching Judy in the head. And she had her eyes shut, so I don't believe that she knew who she was punching in the head. She probably believed it was me, but it was really Judy. And I believe that's how she broke her wrist.
And what about you? What were you doing?
I was sitting in a chair.
You just sat down in a chair?
Yep, I was sitting in the chair.
She was sitting in a chair?
On the floor.
I see her sitting in the chair.
Where did you see her?
I seen her on the floor.
Of course. Let me see your medical bills, please.
And can I say one more thing?
Sure.
Also, she didn't go to the doctor for like a week, and she didn't call the cops or anything, and she acted like everything was fine and dandy with me. I would just think if her wrist was broken, it would hurt really bad, and you would go right to the emergency room.
Did you graduate from Einstein Medical College or Harvard? Which one?
No, that was just my opinion. Neither.
No, let me explain something to you about opinions. When you have an opinion that is a scientific opinion, you have to have a scientific opinion based upon some particular skill, experience, training, education. There are certain things that we know as lay people that are within the realm of common knowledge. Like if somebody's got their arm draped over your boyfriend, if the boyfriend doesn't say, "Get your hands off me, I'm uncomfortable," then you keep your mouth shut. Then you get rid of the boyfriend. You don't get rid of the girl. And if your mother is offended by something that happened to your mother, she's at least 20 years older than you are, you let her deal with it yourself. Unless you've had too much to drink, then you open up your big fresh mouth over something that has absolutely nothing to do with you, and you get yourself into a whole bunch of trouble. If this young woman here had a couple of too much to drink and was making a little bit of a fool of herself, then it was up to the men to say, we don't appreciate that. So let me ask you this question. You come out of the sports bar and you have a flat tire. Who's going to change the tire? You or Rob? Rob. Of course. Do you know why? Because he's good for things like changing tires. He can also say, get your hands off me. He doesn't have to be protected by you.
Well, it's easy for people to say it, but nobody was there but us, so we know what happened. And we came in dressed like we always dressed, but they come in dressed like they're holier than thou, and that's not their dress.
I don't care whether they're dressed like holier than. What difference does it make, madam? We're talking about your fresh mouth.
I'm not the only one in life that has a fresh mouth.
Just a second. I don't care whether you're the only one in life. We're here discussing one case.
That's what happens when you go to the bar.
I've been in bars before. I mean, I don't hang around in bars, and I don't belong to a dart league, but I've been in clubs before, I've been in bars before, and I want to tell you something. I haven't heard the kind of business in places where I've been that I just heard here. Haven't. Sorry. Okay. Just a second. Take this back, because I'm not interested in this.
That is the cost of the, I was told that I need to, my hand is still broke, I need to go to the occupational therapy. This is, since I have
You
not
have several choices. I don't speculate with regard to what you might possibly need in the future without an expert witness. Do you understand?
Yes.
You have incurred a certain amount of bills up until this date. These I am prepared to entertain. What I'm not prepared to do without an expert witness who can testify as to the condition of your wrists, the need and the duration of any therapy, nor am I prepared to entertain the cost of any therapy. So you can either say, Judge, I would like you to dismiss this case without prejudice. I will refile it in another date, 6 months or a year from now, or would you please entertain my current costs? And then I will, if additional treatment is necessary, I have to take care of that myself. Now, what do you want to do?
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
she'd paint like the kitchen like a yellow and blue color. She'd paint like all over the house, all kinds of different colors. She'd put like candles up and pictures.
I can't say that you had a different decorating taste than she did, because you had no taste.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Andrea Crum says she was assaulted by Angela Napier. Angela says Andrea was flirting with her mother's boyfriend.
Okay, what's your pleasure? Do you want me to proceed with the actual costs that you've incurred so far, or not?
No.
No what?
Dismiss the case.
It's done. Case is dismissed without prejudice. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. Next step out.
Jealous, you'll get you nowhere. It's a small town, and she's known as the town whore.
I don't want anything to do with her, man. I actually have my own.
Pretty much every woman in Sheboygan is giving me a thumbs up.
It never stops there. It's like Peyton Place.
And now the next engineer, Larry Tassari, is suing his ex-girlfriend, 25-year-old surgical technician Martha Miles, for making false allegations which resulted in loss of work and the loss of child visitation.
Gentlemen, have seats.
Mr. Tassari, according to your complaint, you and the defendant lived together for a brief period of time.
Right.
You claim that after an incident that happened at your home, you were incarcerated briefly. The defendant left the home and took property that belonged to you. The property was a computer. And then she embarked upon a campaign that amounted to serious harassment that affected both you, your relationship with your former wife, your child, and the loss of your job. So you are suing her for both the return of this computer and the harassment.
That's correct.
And the defendant says she has no clue what you're talking about with regards to the computer, and as far as harassment is concerned, all she did was tell the truth. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When did you start to live together?
Approximately a week after Thanksgiving of the year 2000. We had met the week before.
You had met the week before?
Right.
That's brilliant.
It was love at first sight.
Brilliant. Did you move in with a child?
I have a joint custody, so sometimes I have visitation with my son.
And when did you move out?
I moved out September 2001.
Tell me what happened that evening, Mr. Tassari.
The week before, it was apparent the relationship was not working, and I told her I wanted her to move. I, placed a lot of her stuff by the door. Told her, when you get a chance, move out, peacefully. I don't want a war. So the day we had an argument, she attacked me. I gently pushed her out the door, locked the door, and began throwing her stuff out of the apartment. The police came and arrested me for domestic violence. When I came back to my apartment, a lot of my stuff was missing. In addition to taking a lot of my personal property, she also took a Isuzu Trooper that belonged to me, and she took the keys to my Ford Mustang.
When did you notice, let's start with the computer, when did you notice that this computer was missing, Mr. Tassari?
As I was going through my apartment cleaning up, I noticed what was there and what was gone.
Did you take his computer?
No, ma'am.
Now, Mr. Tassari, something I found interesting in your complaint. You said that you had already taken Miss Miles to court with regard to the cars.
Yes, I have a judgment that she owes me $702.
When did you take her to court for the cars?
After I hired a repossession company to recover my car, and I had a dollar amount there that I could use to create the paperwork.
So my question to you, Mr. Tassari, is you were going to small claims court over a fixed amount of money having to do with the car. You already knew that she had taken your computer. Why didn't you, at that time, sue for the return of your computer or its value?
I was trying to get an exact handle on everything that was missing.
No! Because all you're doing is suing here for the computer, Mr. Tassari. Computer and harassment.
I don't know, I just wasn't thinking clearly.
Well, I'm going to find, sir, with regard to the computer, that you had an opportunity to sue for it at one time, and you should have done that. So I'm not entertaining your application for the computer. Now, the harassment came later. So I will hear you with regard to the harassment. Now, you say that she telephoned your former wife and made some allegations to her. I'd like you to tell me when that phone call was.
November 15th of 2001.
All right, now, Miss Miles, why don't you tell me what you told his former wife in November?
I told her, he said that his check is being garnished, and he was complaining, and he said it's easy for him to go to buy a gun and blow up his family and children rather than pay the child support.
Okay, so let me understand this. You called his former wife because at some point Mr. Tassari had told you that he was angry that his check was being garnished for child support and that it would have been easier for him to blow up his family than to pay the support.
Yes, ma'am.
When did he say that to you, Miss Miles?
He said to me when we were living together, and I called him immediately.
When you were living together?
Yes.
So sometime before September of 2001?
Yes.
Right? Now, I gather that you decided to call his former wife because you were concerned for her safety.
Yes, and our children.
And concerned for the children.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes.
Well, that's very nice of you. Why didn't you call when he made the threat? Why did you wait until after he kicked you out to call? So you knew about this, according to you, for months before you called the ex-wife, right?
I called from his phone when I was living with him. I didn't make it the phone in November. I make it September. I called.
No,
That's why he was upset with me. When he came back from work, he said, why you call my ex-wife? Because the police called him. He was arrested for that.
Just a minute. So what you're telling me, Miss Miles, is you didn't make the call in November, that one of the reasons you had a fight with Mr. Tassari is because you had called his ex-wife and told her about this comment that he made.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mr. Tassari, let me come back to you, sir. I want you to listen to me very carefully. It's very easy for me to verify this. All I have to do is call your ex-wife. You understand that? Did Miss Miles call your former wife while she was still living in your house?
No.
And you say it was in November that she called your ex-wife?
It was November 15th. I have a copy of the police report. My
Can I see it, please? How many times did you call his ex-wife, Miss Miles?
I called her 3 times.
No, it seems clear to me here, Miss Miles, that this threat was relayed on November 15th, not in September. Now, Mr. Tessari, I have a question for you, sir. Let's say I don't really think or believe that you had an intention of blowing up your former wife and children because your salary was attached. But it is possible that you said it, right?
I didn't say it.
You might have. The question is, why did she make the call? And she made the call because she was angry. What else did she do?
She sent me an email at work, which I have a copy of a police report on. Can I read that word for word? It has a few obscenities in it. It says, "Hey, you can't compete with me. Stop trying. When you get out of jail, I'm going to kill you."
Is any of that true?
That's the email I got at work. She also left about 20 phone calls on my voicemail.
Mr. Tessari, how many months has it been since Miss Miles has contacted you?
Since approximately the middle of December.
So what do you want to start up with her for?
I don't.
Well, you do if you bring a lawsuit against her, sir.
Because it cost me a lot of money and a lot of anguish to try to get the visitation with my children reestablished.
Because what happened, according to your complaint, is when she called your ex-wife, told her about this threat that you had made, your ex-wife whipped into action, they stopped your visitation, and then it was ultimately reinstated. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. How old are your children?
My children are 14 and 12.
Have you had continuous visitation with them since the divorce?
On and off. My ex-wife has always created issues with that.
Well, have any of the issues been with regard to any allegations of abuse or neglect with regard to you?
They have, but they were untrue.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
you said if you take them to the vet because they had blood in their stool, I will pay the bill.
Casper had diarrhea because of all the stress.
Give me a break.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Larry Tessari says ex-girlfriend Martha Miles falsely accused him of making terrorist threats against his ex-wife. Larry says the allegations caused him to lose his job as well as his child visitation.
You claim that Miss Miles is a vindictive nut. Is that right?
That's correct.
But this vindictive nut has left you alone for at least 6, 7, 8 months, right?
Right.
So it would be a wise man who would say, let it rest, right? Especially since you know, Mr. Tessari, that you have a judgment against her that she hasn't paid yet, right? You have a judgment for a car that she hasn't paid. So you think you're going to get more from her on a second lawsuit, especially when she's been quiet? Does that sound smart? No. I mean, I'm not going to ask you to answer that. I'll ask Bert. Does that sound smart to you?
Doesn't sound smart to me.
Doesn't sound smart to me either. Mr. Tessari, she doesn't have your computer. Even if she had your computer, you had the ability to sue for that when you sued for the car, so that part of your claim is dismissed. With regard to the harassment, I find that there is insufficient evidence to establish that she told your wife an untruth when she said that you even casually, put your hand down, Mr. Tessari, even casually said to her, it would be easier, rather than paying this child support, I could blow them all up. Or they'd be better off dead, or we'd all be better off dead, or whatever. Now, there's probably not much of a question in my mind that Miss Miles made that telephone call to your wife in order to get even with you. That's true. But I believe that there is a possibility that you said it even though you didn't mean it. And relaying information that she heard is not harassment. In any event, I think that you should be very wise, sir. If she hasn't bothered you in 6, 7, 8 months, let it rest. Your case is dismissed.
Apologies are excused. You may step out.
You know, she did disrupt my visitation with my kids, and I feel that she should be punished for that in some way or another.
I left him to babysit my son. He taped my son's mouth and nose, and then that's what he went to jail for.
Her son was crying and angry. She told me, you know, put some tape over his mouth and make him shut up.
There is a restraining order already in place.
A lot of her child rearing practices are things that they do in Africa that I guess we don't do here.
He tried to get back with me, and I don't want him no more.
And now the next case. Administrative clerk Stephanie Brown is suing her former landlord, Toby Moore, for the return of personal property. Toby is countersuing for damages to the apartment, unpaid rent, and for the cost to remove waste.
Yes, it is.
How old is he?
He's 9.
I'm going to ask Bert to take the young man outside because there are some serious allegations here that I don't believe he has to be involved with or be privileged to hear.
Come with me.
Everybody else you can be seated, sir. Ms. Brown, according to your complaint, you rented an apartment from the defendant.
That's correct.
Somebody that it turned out you had some connection with historically in your family.
Correct.
And it was a two-family house. You went upstairs and you lived downstairs. According to your complaint, some issues developed. She evicted you.
Right.
And according to you, kept some of your property.
Correct.
You want to be reimbursed for that property.
That's correct.
Ms. Moore says she's very happy that you decided to sue her because she's been trying to find you. You left no forwarding address when you moved out because she claims you owe her rent. You destroyed her apartment, and she would like to be compensated.
Correct.
So when did you move in, and what kind of a lease did you sign?
It was a month-to-month lease, and we moved in like the last week of February of 2002.
What was the rent?
$650.
And you were evicted in August, is that right?
Really the last week of July I received an termination of tenancy.
Okay, but then you were told you had to leave August 20th, according to your complaint.
Yes, after we went to court for something else.
Now, why did you notify her that you were evicting her?
Non-payment of rent. And
tell me when that was.
They didn't finish paying the rent in July, and they didn't pay the rent in August at all.
Okay. In July, how much did they pay?
$605.
Why did you pay $605 in July?
My fiance was having problems with his job, and you know he wasn't working every day.
Okay, so you were shy $45
right.
in.
I don't even know it was $45. I thought it was more like $15 or so.
All right. And what happened in August? I'm asking you. Pay attention.
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. In August, I got no response. So on.
What do you mean you got no response?
They don't answer their door. They don't answer their phone.
Is there any reason why you didn't pay rent?
Yes, Your Honor. First of all, the end of July, it all to me started with an air conditioner. When I first rented the place, she said she had an air conditioner in the unit. It was in the wintertime. I asked her, does it get pretty hot up there? She said, yes, it does. I have an air conditioner you can use, you know, when the time comes. You know, I'll just prorate the electricity bill. We were offered an air conditioner through a friend of ours, so we took it. You know, saying that, you know, she was saying that.
Okay, so you took an air conditioner.
Right.
Go ahead.
Okay, so she said to let her know when I got the air conditioner, and I don't think I let her know that exact day that I got it because she wasn't home or something. But anyways, the air conditioner ended up being in there for like 10, 12 days before she knew about it. She called up to my house and asked me, did I have an air conditioner? And I said, yes. She said, well, would you please take it out? You didn't notify me that you had an air conditioner, and would you please take it out? So 5 minutes later, I took the air conditioner out. The next day, this note was posted on my door saying that we have a 30-day tendency to move because we have put an air conditioner in her unit without her permission. And that's where it started from. So that was dated July 31st, and we had 30 days to move. So upon that notice...
Okay, just a second. According to this, they owed $15 of July's rent. Mm-hmm. And the other $30 you tacked on here was for the air conditioner.
For the electricity bill.
Just a second. For the air conditioner, for the difference involving the air conditioner. So they didn't owe you $45 for rent. It was the additional $30 that you say that your electricity bill went up because of the air conditioner.
Correct.
Okay. Go ahead. So what happened next?
So the next day that note was posted that we had 30 days to move. So I have a son. I wasn't working at the time. My fiance was only working part-time. I could not afford to pay rent to pay rent twice, to give her August rent since we had 30 days to move, and I already had put up a damage deposit of $650, and so I was, assuming to myself, well,
you're going to live off your security deposit.
Not necessarily.
Well, that's what he says. You say no, but that's what he says. You had $650. You figured she wasn't going to give it back to you anyway. You might as well use that $650 for security deposit to pay your August rent.
Right.
I got you. Okay. But that's non-payment of August rent is not the reason that she was evicting you?
To me, it wasn't. It was because of the air conditioner.
Okay, is that why you were evicting her?
No, ma'am.
Why were you evicting her?
Late night arguments with the little boy up there, and there's only, the three of them up there. You're throwing things against my walls. You're breaking and damaging things.
Don't talk to her. Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, ma'am. They were doing too many things, and I have my husband's sons during the summertime. We take care of them.
Shh.
And they're loud. They woke us up at 1:30 in the middle of the night, scared my boys because she was going to burn down the house, threatened to burn down the house.
What? They were having arguments.
Child staying on this.
So they were having arguments?
All the time.
That is not true.
So if they were having arguments, why didn't you move to evict them because they were a nuisance?
Well, I had talked with Stephanie a couple times about that. You've got that child up there, you're doing things up there you shouldn't be doing with that boy up there.
You said nothing to me.
You're leaving that child by himself.
I very seldom left my son
out of the mailbox for him to come in.
I'm not speaking to you.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I think she left a lot of junk, and they certainly left this apartment like a pig pen.
She would have gave me a chance, I would have cleaned up.
No. Pig. Those things you don't clean up.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Stephanie Brown says former landlord Toby Moore evicted her family and then kept their belongings. Toby says Stephanie is violent.
Now, what did you go to court for?
Okay, after I got the 30-day notice and like August 5th came around, she discovered evidently I wasn't going to pay her rent, so she went and filed an unlawful detainer for non-payment of August rent. We went to court like around the 14th or so, and we were asked to vacate the premises by August the 20th.
No, you weren't asked. Were you ordered to?
Ordered to vacate.
That's
right.
different. Ask and order are two different things.
Okay.
Were you out on August 20th?
August the 20th, around 7 p.m., we were in a process of moving. We only moved like 4 blocks away. I don't have a vehicle. It was pouring down, raining that whole night. We made like 7 or 8 trips with shopping carts, mind you, in the pouring rain, back and forth to our new place moving. But before that, she came about 10 minutes to 8 that evening and said that she was changing the locks on the apartment. I said, well, Toby, we're in the process of moving. Can you give us to 8 o'clock in the morning? She said, you cannot tell me what to do at my property. I can make any necessary repairs or whatever I want to my property, and you cannot tell me what to do. And then she threatened me with calling her uncle.
I just want to know whether you were out.
Uncle, the sheriff.
Pay careful attention to me.
Right.
Were you out of the apartment by midnight on the 20th of August?
No, I wasn't, and she knew that, though. She came and asked me when we were going to be out, and I told her 8 a.m. that morning. And I didn't
just a second, that's maybe what you told her, but you could not be in that unit after midnight on the 20th of August.
Right.
That was the order.
Come and remove
because
us.
then what you do is, instead of starting to move on the 20th, you start to move on the 19th.
That's correct, but we were...
I know it's correct. All right, so now what do you claim was left behind?
This is a list of things that were left behind in the apartment.
Let me see. A slider rocker, I'm talking about the big items, slider rocker, sofa sleeper, large kitchen table, antique golf clubs. What are antique golf clubs?
My fiance had a set of golf clubs, and they were antique. They were like 15, 20 years old.
Oh, no, those aren't antique. Those are old.
Okay, well.
There's a difference between old golf clubs and antique golf clubs.
I'm just appraising. I don't know how old they were, but they were very old.
They were very old.
Right.
Old. Old golf clubs are not antique golf clubs. Right, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what happened with all these things?
Most of the things, yes.
Tell me what happened with them.
The things that she left in the apartment, I took pictures of, and the things that she left and took down to all my neighbor's trash.
She what?
She strategically took stuff and left in everybody's trash.
I'm just
down
talking about the
alley.
furniture. I'm talking about the furniture.
So am I.
She told me she put the chair in somebody's garbage?
Correct.
Listen to me carefully,
Yes.
Miss Moore. Is there a sofa that was in the apartment after she moved out?
No, ma'am.
That's a lie.
Shh. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I mean, I think she left a lot of junk, and they certainly left this apartment like a pig pen.
No,
yes, you did.
I did because I wasn't done moving.
No. Listen to me.
If she would have gave me a chance, I would have cleaned up.
No. Pig. Pig. Those things you don't clean up. This, show her.
They should have been left like that.
I'm speaking. Don't speak.
I'm sorry.
Nobody was going to clean that oven before you moved out, and nobody was going to defrost the refrigerator at 8 o'clock in the morning. Do you understand?
I understand that.
That's not taking care of somebody else's property. So if this is an indication,
And you know what, Your Honor?
I'm speaking.
Okay.
If this is an indication of how you were taking care of someone else's property, then I understand her counterclaim, which is you left the rest of the place in a complete state of disarray.
When I moved there, it was like that. She gave me $100 off to clean up. The stove and refrigerator was a mess. I had to clean all that up.
So just a second. So she gave you money off?
Right.
Fine. Now, so if that's
And I was going to clean it up again after I was on, in the process of leaving. I don't.
No,
leave my
that's
place
baloney. That's baloney because you didn't have time. You had to be out by midnight. So you weren't going to clean that up at all. Now, Ms. Moore, we've already come to the conclusion that you didn't give her a legitimate reason for evicting her. This is not the legitimate reason, according to you. According to you, didn't like them as tenants. Then they didn't pay rent in August, so that you went and you finally got her evicted. I don't believe that she took all of her stuff. I believe that some stuff was left behind. I don't know what you did with it. You want to tell me what you did with it?
The stuff that was left behind,
Yeah, in the
she
apartment.
came and got. And the things, she came and started going through boxes, and I'm like, Stephanie, no. You have to take your stuff. You can't sit here and do this.
When did she come back?
She came back with her mother on the 22nd.
So what you're telling me is plaintiff and her mother came back on the 22nd.
Correct. Her mother came by looking for her, and I said, I don't know where she is. She moved out. And if you do catch up to her, ask her what does she want with the rest of her things. They're out in my garage. 45 minutes to an hour later, she showed up.
And those were the things that you wanted me to have. There was no sofa in her garage.
Just a second.
There wasn't one.
Had your stuff been in her garage before?
No.
So she moved the stuff out of the apartment
Right.
into her garage?
Right, which she wanted me to have.
What did you do with the things that were in the garage?
Some stuff, the stuff that was in the garage, I put in my mother's car and took with me. Some stuff that was no good, I have a friend that owns a furniture store. They said that I could put the stuff in the trash back there. So stuff that I did not want, I put in the back of this furniture store trash.
What furniture did you take with you?
I didn't have a chance to even get my main furniture out. I took nothing but my it was mostly clothes and stuff that I had moved. I didn't get it. The big stuff you moved last, and I didn't have a chance to move that.
That's unfortunate. You had an obligation to be out of that premises by midnight on the 20th. Now, she says that you left no couch, that you left no table and chairs, that any furniture that you left, any stuff that you left, she put in a garage. You came by with your mother. Mother came first, you came second. You looked through the stuff. Some stuff you wanted, some stuff you didn't. Some stuff was trash. Even the trash she moved out of your apartment.
No.
No, it's not.
Sure it is.
Can I call
You
a
just
witness,
told me
please,
that.
ma'am?
Sure. Call him. Your last name?
Tellis.
Go ahead, Mr. Tellis.
Okay, the things, way it went down as far as the furniture that was in the house. Her mama, my fiance's mother, knew where we was at, and we had told her where it happened.
Don't tell me anything that her mother saw, sir.
Oh, I'm not going to tell you that, but...
I want to know why you didn't move this stuff out on the 18th or the 19th of August. You were working. If you're not working, why didn't you move?
He was working.
I was working. I was working, but I was working part-time.
Well, it's working part-time, and the other half the time you move out in time. 17th, 18th, 19th, so that you're all out on the 20th, so that you don't start moving at 8 o'clock at night on the 20th.
Okay, actually we had prepared to move by boxing up a lot of things, whatever. But we were moving, and about 4:30, 5 o'clock that morning, she put a lock.
The lock was there before.
She had already put a lock on the door, but she locked the door so we couldn't get in to finish taking our belongings out.
You couldn't be there 4:30 in the morning on the 21st.
Okay, but even then...
We had agreement.
Then,
she said, when are you going to be out? We said 8 o'clock in the morning. She said she had no problem. When we come to make our last several loads, the door was locked.
But
you listen to me. I don't believe you that you had stuff in that apartment worth $1,500 because you just said to me we came to make our last several loads. Our last several loads is not all your furniture.
No, it was our sleeper sofa, our dresser, our table, our rockers, my golf clubs, my bikes, all that.
Grills, everything.
Grills. We were to move all that.
Can I have that list? Can I have the list? So what did you take? Just a minute.
Like
So what did you? So what did you take, sir? is my question.
Basically, we took a lot of pots and pans. We took some rugs that we had, clothes, you know, a lot of
TVs,
VCRs, but we didn't get a chance to move the big items.
Okay, good. Now, did you have a U-Haul at that night? Did you have a U-Haul at that night?
No.
Okay, now you can sit down. Now, I want to hear about your counterclaim.
Tell the truth.
One more word. One more word. The case is going to be dismissed, and I will just concentrate on her counterclaim. Do you understand?
I understand.
Who are you?
I'm her husband.
Step up.
Yes, I was the one that mainly moved everything out of that apartment.
Where's the couch?
There was no couch upstairs. There was no couch.
Who knows? I have no idea. I have no idea. All I know is you left the place like a pigsty. Since I really don't know what happened to your furniture in there, I have to rule strictly on the law. And the law is that when you've been evicted from an apartment and you're told to move, you have to be totally out of that apartment on midnight the night of the move. You are not. And you are not out by midnight on the 20th, not because she didn't let you get your stuff, but because you didn't start to move until 8 o'clock at night on the 20th. So anything left in that apartment, even if you left stuff in that apartment afterwards, you can find that that stuff was abandoned by you. So even if they took it, sold it, destroyed it, gave it away, salvaged it, trashed it, or whatever, they had a legitimate right to do that because they are under no obligation to keep your stuff. Do you understand? And again, I'm not sure whether the stuff was there or not, but I am sure that it was there after it was not supposed to be there pursuant to a court order. That's one thing. So that's very easy to deal with. The second thing that I have to deal with is her counterclaim. And her counterclaim is for rent and damages to the apartment. Correct. Well, I think that there are certain damage to the apartment that I can't find caused by them. I certainly think that they left the place like a pigsty and that they have to be fined for that to the extent that they had $650 in security deposit and that at least part of that has to go towards cleaning up this apartment.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Cleaning up and putting it into reasonable condition.
Right.
And I think that probably $150 or $200 is reasonable to clean up that apartment. The problem is you stayed beyond the term of your lease. So you don't get any credit for August rent.
Right.
Which means that you owe her some money to clean up the apartment, the mess that you made, which is a couple of $100. So on the counterclaim, I'm awarding her $200 to clean up the apartment, and I'm awarding you nothing. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you.
8-year-old student Jessie Lockard is suing her former live-in boyfriend, 34-year-old general manager John Schaefer, for the return of property and harassment. John is countersuing for unpaid rent and the return of a house key.
You and the defendant were in a relationship and I gather leased an apartment together. There came a time when you claimed that he threw you out of the apartment and kept some property that belonged to you. In addition to that, you claim that he has been engaging in a course of harassment against you and you want to be compensated for that as well. Mr. Schaefer says, totally untrue, you moved out on your own. He is counterclaiming for half of the rent for the months that were remaining on the lease after you left. And that the items that you claim belong to you were actually jointly purchased. So, tell me when you leased this apartment and how long was the lease? Questions are going to get harder.
Okay. According to his countersuit, he put August 5th. I honestly don't remember the date that we signed the lease.
When did you sign the lease? When was it to begin?
August 5th.
Of
02.
Are you still in the apartment, sir?
Yes.
Do you plan on staying there?
Yes.
Okay. When did you move out of the apartment?
On November 17th, I went to work and got off at 6. At 6 o'clock, we had a store meeting. After the store meeting, some coworkers and
I know you have this in your mind.
Okay.
But we're going to have to do this my way.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Good. You moved out on November 17th?
He kicked me out. I came home and all my belongings were outside on the lawn.
When you say all your belongings, were they packed in suitcases? Were they packed in garbage bags? Were they just thrown out?
They were piled up. There were a couple of chairs and a set of TV trays. The mattress to my bed was in the doorway, like propping it open permanently. The bed springs and the frame of the bed were still in the house. They were in the living room, along with my clothes. And
where were your clothes?
Just thrown in a heap, like they had been ripped out of drawers and out of the closet, along with different items like tapestries and pictures off of the wall.
Okay, what was the hissy fit about, Mr. Schaefer?
I believe that I had caught Jesse with another man.
What do you mean you believe? Either you did or you didn't?
Well, she received a ride home from a gentleman that evening, and they were in the vehicle together when they arrived at the apartment.
Yes. So somebody was in a car with her?
Yes. Someone that she had priorly explained to me that she had maybe feelings for.
Is that what caused this hissy fit?
Yes.
So what did you do with her clothes?
I didn't do anything with her clothes. I left them in the closet and in the drawers. I may have moved a few items to the front of the apartment, but...
What do you mean may have moved, Mr. Schaefer? Let's get it buttoned down, sir.
I moved a few of her things.
What did you move?
Her bed frame.
And where did you move the bed to?
Just to the front of the apartment.
And what about the TV trays?
I may have set a TV tray outside.
Outside where?
In the front porch.
And what was that supposed to connote to her?
Just a message that unfaithfulness is just not, it shouldn't be a part of a relationship, and if she wanted to be that way, she needed to remove her things. Just leave.
So what you said to her was, if you have any feelings for this other person, I want you out of the apartment.
Yes,
right?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, good. So then I don't have to entertain your counterclaim. You threw her out. You threw her out. That doesn't necessarily mean she has to leave. She could stay. You might not be happy with her staying under those circumstances, but she's entitled to stay. You threw her out. You took her bed, you threw it out. You took her things, you threw it out. And you said to me, what I told her was, I'm not going to tolerate that. You want to have a relationship with somebody else, get out. So you threw her out. Counterclaim is dismissed. Now we can deal with your claim. Perfect. What items do you claim that he retained that belonged to you?
From the next day, I went back to the apartment because I still hadn't even gotten my cell phone out of it. From that point up until right before Thanksgiving, I was in and out of the apartment with the aid of my friend Jamie and my parents to remove my items. Never was my PlayStation 2 or 8 of my games there. And those... Okay. Sorry, I have a loud voice. I apologize.
No, you just are droning on. I said to you, what items do you claim are in the house?
Those are the items.
PlayStation, you gave me a whole story.
Okay.
It's not necessary to give me a whole story unless I need a story.
I'm sorry.
PlayStation and games. Now, Mr. Schaefer, I've read your answer very clearly, and you said that the only property you retained was purchased jointly.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
But then you go on to say, the next sentence of your answer says, purchase the games together. It doesn't say we purchased the PlayStation together. Now, are you being careful with your language, sir?
Yes.
Good. So the PlayStation belonged to her because she bought it?
Yes.
You didn't think I'd notice?
No.
You were hoping for the best. Fine. PlayStation goes back to Miss Lockhart, Mr. Schaefer. Now, is it a fair statement that two of you jointly purchased the games to play on the PlayStation?
Well, for all intents and purposes, we can say that, but I can't swear that he bought any of them because I don't believe he did.
You buy some?
Yes.
How many did you buy?
Probably about 3 or 4.
And how many do you have? 8?
No, I only have 7 that she's listed.
Okay. So if you bought 3 or 4, let's say you bought 3 and you returned 4 to her, sir, unless you want to be a sport and return all 7 since you don't have the PlayStation anymore. Right? So anywhere from 4 games to 7 games, you're going to return to her. We'll see what kind of a guy you are. Now, you want to pursue this issue of harassment?
Yes, please.
Well, is it true, Mr. Schaefer, that for a period of time after Miss Lockhart left, you were annoying her?
That was only after she returned to the apartment twice, once asking me for a ride home from work after we had split up, and we spent some evenings together. So I was a little bit confused as to her intentions.
When was that?
2 or 2.5 weeks after the break.
According to you, there were emails, a whole bunch of them. When were they?
On December 22nd, he emailed me 422 times with things such as, Jesse, are you getting a new for Christmas?
I didn't ask you to read them.
The numbers that I've circled on each of those pages are how many times that particular email was sent to me. One was sent 171 times in a row. Others were sent just once.
They were all sent on the same day.
Yes, they were.
December 22nd, December 23rd, he was having a bad day.
That wasn't the only bad day, Your Honor.
You were having a bad day, Mr. Schaefer?
Yes, ma'am.
I got it.
Could we talk
Mr.
about some of the
Lockhart.
other bad days he's had?
What are other bad days?
One of the bad days, he followed me from my work to the gas station and tried to run us off the road she was driving. Another bad day, he called my cell phone 71 times in a period of 4 hours.
What was that, before or after you spent an evening with him?
This would have had to have occurred after I'd gotten a ride home from him.
When you got a ride home from him, tell me about it.
I don't know which job I was working at, but the person who I was working with was unable to take me home, and I wasn't able to get a hold of Jamie, who was the girl I was living with, and I called other people and only got voicemail, so I asked him to give me a ride home.
You work in the same store?
No, we do not.
So you had to call him at his place of business?
Actually, I think I called him at his house. What had happened is we went a few days without speaking after I moved my things out, and we were trying to reconcile it. Understand, I've been with him for over 2 years at that point, so even though he did do all this to me, I didn't know where my emotions were, and I thought, you know, if you want to be grown up about this, this is a good opportunity for us to talk. And we went back to his house, we talked for a while, and then she came and picked me up from his apartment, our old apartment.
You can't send out mixed messages, Miss Lockhart.
I'm sorry.
But you know you did.
I'm paying for them.
You sent out mixed messages. You can't send out mixed messages. Mr. Schaefer, you're going to leave her alone?
Yes.
Do you have a restraining order in place now?
Yes.
Have there been any further contacts? What?
I still get calls and hang-ups, and I've called him. I believe it's him, because I don't know of anyone else who calls me and hangs up repeatedly.
So you called him for what?
I called back the number and left a message saying, I will get my phone tapped, and then the police will only have to look to see if it was you that was calling, and then you will have gone against your restraining order and will be put in jail. He still follows me to our neighborhood bar, which is supposed to stay at least 500 feet away from me. And he goes to conveniently the same gas station in our neighborhood, things like that. He text messages all of my friends with stuff about me, and they'll just have to individually get their own restraining orders.
Mr. Schaefer, if any of what she says is true, which is difficult to prove here, I'm going to suggest to you that you got to put a period and move on. If you feel sad one day and you have a couple of drinks at home, you decide to pick up the phone or to go over to your computer and memorialize any of your feelings and these things, it's counterproductive. It didn't work out. It's finito. Over. And all you have to return is the PlayStation.
Okay.
And between 4 and 7 games. And stay out of her life.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't send him any mixed messages. If you need a ride home, call a cab. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Right? Mixed messages are very bad. Men don't understand mixed messages. They understand clear. This is wood. This they understand. They don't understand soft stuff, Miss Lockhart. Do I make myself clear? Good. Thank you very much. That's all.
All you guys do, step out, please.
He's put me through hell.
Spitefulness or vengefulness.
He's been a complete jack.
You know, it wasn't a bad deal when we were together.
He says that he knows that I was gallivanting with another man.
Things went sour, and unfortunately, this is where it ended up.
क्यों? चीज लेके क्या करेगा? बनाते होते? तुम्हारी बनाऊंगा, यूट्यूब पे डालूंगा मैं। भैंस को मारूंगा। जरा सामने जा। नहीं, तुमने पजामा लिया पाकिस्तान वाला? हाँ, इधर आना जरा, पजामा ले दो पाकिस्तान वाला। पाकिस्तान वाला पजामा ले दूं? तो अभी पाकिस्तान को पजामे के क्या बोलूं तेरे को मैं? शर्ट तो पहनते पाकिस्तानी, पजामा तो पाकिस्तान वाला पहनता है।
पजामा नहीं,
फिर बैन के क्या कर रहा है? नहीं चलाओ, नहीं चलाओ, बंद करो, 1 मिनट बंद करो। क्या बनाया? कहाँ बनाया? पाकिस्तान? क्या बनाया था? सूद दिया।